That's really it.
That should be the mission statement. Do cool shit.
I've said it.
Comma. Always.
Yeah.
Period.
For real. For real.
Bro, that should be my mission statement.
That
Okay,
is.
I adopted it.
You can
Do
have
cool
that.
shit always.
Period.
Period.
Casually and randomly.
Yeah.
And then today, I see a sign for Kmart, which I feel like I haven't seen in like.
You know what it was? The government.
You think that they were like?
They heard you on the phone. They're like, we need to get out. Where'd you see it? Tacoma?
It's over here somewhere, like close to here.
Like, we need to get out to right now because Paul's going there tomorrow, and we're gonna need to put a Kmart sign up.
Bro, this is the shit. This is the shit that like, bro. Yesterday, fucking. All right, just so we're. I don't know if I can. I'm sure that I could discuss that I'm friends with him, but like
Yeah.
I probably just in case shouldn't.
It's all good. Yeah, I can also edit everything out, so it's like if you say something,
that I shouldn't have said.
just like remember it and be like, just cut that out. But, all right.
We were he's like real into like they had a Bigfoot documentary on at one point, and like he's into like the thought that that's like. Bro, he was saying that this show they were watching, he was saying that he was thinking that they were like the gatekeepers to like the next dimension or something.
Bigfoots?
Bigfoots, yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing that I think a lot of people think actually, which is pretty wild.
Bro, and I heard that for the very first time yesterday and was like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? I never heard anything like that in my life.
I'm just setting my timers because I think the cameras are only going to record 10 minutes at a time. So every 10 minutes while we're talking, I'll have to like hop up, turn them back on, but we'll just leave a shot on you.
Why do you think that's happening?
I don't know. The first day that I did it, it was 30 minutes for that one.
How did you know it stopped?
This one keeps going. This one's got the little red blinking light. So that one just keeps going, I think. So I think we're good on that one. It's the good camera that you don't know that it stops. That's what I'm saying. I found out by watching the files back and being like, fuck, it's only 10 minutes. So now I know. So
it turns off, and you have to turn it back on?
It just stops recording.
Oh.
Yeah, so like the camera will stay on.
That's crazy. There's got to be a setting to fix that.
It's like a tax problem. I don't know how to describe it really, but there's like a law basically. So like if you record more than 30 minutes, it's taxed as like a.
Bro, what's taxed?
It's the camera itself. Like when you buy it, you pay like X amount of tax on. Like a professional
like a news camera would have like
huge tax. These cameras,
bro, I never heard
to keep them out of that tax problem, they can only record up to 30 minutes, so it's like a hobbyist thing. Yeah, it's just how it goes. You can like jailbreak like the software or firmware and like
bro, I don't know if it's
override
I'm like higher than I usually am at this time of day, but like
what?
That's bro. It's weird how often.
Toss those on, see if you can hear yourself okay.
It's weird how often, as you get older, that you think you kind of have, like, a grasp on things.
Yeah.
And then, like, you say some shit
you
like you can... I can't hear anything.
Okay,
Maybe I can.
Hang on. Talk now.
Hello.
Can you hear me
I
better?
mean, I could hear myself through the... But there's no sound in the headphones, I feel like.
Really? Okay, hang on.
Wait, I just heard something now. There it is.
Okay.
Kinda. Like, just...
Is it still really loud, though?
It's not loud at all, no.
Okay.
It's, like, super quiet. There it is. Now I can hear myself.
Okay.
And now I can hear you.
Cool. Perfect. All right, so... I kind of fucked with these last night when I was completely hammered, so it's, like, not ideal. I need to go
you
close
literally have... But here's the thing. Like, I've sat down to do things before, and, like, bro... You literally have, like, the splitter thing, 3 microphones that are, like, not a joke. This isn't a joke.
Yeah, it's
this is a pretty serious hobby all of a sudden.
No, I've been doing this for, like, almost a year. I just haven't actually committed to, like, doing them. That's what I'm saying. Episode 1 was, like, last week.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. I need to go close that door. But, yeah, it's like a pretty new thing still. I'm still, like, really learning how I'm supposed to be doing this.
Well, I gotta tell you right now, I'm thoroughly impressed already.
Yeah,
I mean, bro, if you're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah,
this is what I'm saying. You're doing
it. Yeah, like, I've seen some... The thing that's kind of weird to me is, like, there's people that are, like, famous. Like, they do this, like, professionally, and their audio is, like, terrible. Their like setup is not very good.
Dude, you know what fucks me up with any kind of anything like this ever is I am like obsessed with Howard Stern.
Yeah. And like I remember when he had like a show, like the live viewing or whatever, but I never really watched it, honestly.
So I remember a little bit when I was like a kid but I didn't start really listening to him until like 2015.
Yeah.
And bro, just like listening to how his show sounds, and I could definitely hear myself now.
Okay, I can turn it down.
No, it's perfect.
Oh, okay.
It's like just the way his show is.
Yeah.
It's like everything you listen to after that is like not as good.
Just
like
nothing
is
what
good.
do you? So this is actually like one of the things we were going to talk about, but let's get to that in a second. Actually, I want to do this in order.
Did you want to start at some point?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So it's
we
like
already did
it's
start.
like a no. Yeah, it's like a warm intro. It's like instead of just being like and
boom
action.
Hey.
Hello, here I am with Paul. It's like an interview that way. So I just like it being more like we're just like
shooting
we're literally just gonna be shooting the shit. That's the whole. Everybody asks me like, what are you gonna talk about? What's your topic? What's
I love
this?
that.
And I'm like.
That there isn't one.
Nah, man.
It's like Seinfeld, bro.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hang out with my friends, bro. Or
and then talk
even,
about shit.
Even people I don't know,
Yes.
though. I'm going to have people that I don't know that I'm going to love
sick.
to talk about. So, we will intro you, though. So,
Paul, or are we doing, is it Stitch Guy?
That's kind of what I'm, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a question for you.
So, here's the thing with that, is that I feel like, bro, here's the thing. It may sound corny. It's not an alter ego, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like all right, here's a perfect example. I got the Batman logo. I'm talking now. This is going to be a great story.
Yeah.
I got the Batman logo tattooed on my chest when I went through like one of the first like difficult times in my life. And I was trying to like, it wasn't because I love Batman and I love comics and I was obsessed with the movies and I'm a big Michael Keaton guy.
Sure.
It was the idea of Batman where somebody had something very traumatic happen to them and they had to change who they were to become something else.
Yeah.
So Bruce Wayne, his parents get murked or whatever.
Right. Yeah, and I fucking hate that I don't know. Like,
bro,
I've never been a superhero guy.
I'm not really a superhero guy either.
The story, though, refresh me. The story is his parents get killed.
His parents get killed by whoever.
And he's rich, right?
And he's rich.
Was he rich before?
Yeah, his parents had bread before.
Okay.
And again, I'm not like a comic book guy at all.
Yeah.
But I'm just, from what I know of from the movies and stuff. And I watched like the cartoon when I was younger too.
Yeah.
But his parents get murked, and in his head he goes, bro, like there's something fucked up in this city, and I gotta do something about it.
Yeah.
So the idea of transforming from one person to something else to change your life or change your surroundings, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's what inspired that tattoo in the first place, and that was.
And you got the patch and everything.
Oh yeah, it's a whole.
You really like the premise.
The idea behind it.
And I feel like that's where you're getting with the Stitch God thing.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. So that's what happened with that.
So you're like Batman.
Yeah, kind of, but what I was trying to say is I got that tattoo a very long time ago. The Stitch God's only been a thing for like a year, but it's the same thing where it's like an evolution of like me and my girl got matching tattoos a while ago. And it's a butterfly. And she got hers because in her head she was thinking like I'm about to move to Seattle. Yeah. I'm about to cocoon into who I am, right? Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Not even to just have it match, but like I feel the same way too. Yeah. Like I feel like I'm about to turn into something else. Right. And that was 3 years ago. And then,
metamorphosis.
Exactly, bro.
Big words.
And then all of a sudden it turned into another change in who I was. So it's really not that Stitch God is not a job, is what I'm saying. It's like a thing. It's like a change
mindset.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not if, when is what the mission statement is. It's a mindset. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So
that didn't answer your question at all, though.
No, and this is like I don't care. I'm telling you, me and Jade argued about this on the first episode for like 40 minutes. People listening, are like, what the fuck? Where was that going? Yeah, I get that, but like that's not how conversation works usually. Like,
I know that.
Most people have, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm cool.
I just mean I don't know if you're gonna be talking to Paul. Is I guess what we're saying at the end of the day.
So this is Paul Bull.
This is it. This is your boy.
This is my boy.
This is it.
So
well, you could call me PB in those cases. That was my nickname first. Yeah.
Okay, so this is PB.
PB, yeah.
Like peanut butter and jelly.
And why is it like peanut butter and jelly?
I don't know.
Because everybody loves peanut butter.
Word.
Get it?
Yeah, especially dogs, bro.
That's even more true. That's even funnier. But it's funny because my girl's name is Jillian.
Yeah.
So we're now PB
yeah.
and J. Isn't that great?
Wild.
It happened, bro.
Yeah, that's sick. So, okay. Buffalo,
Yeah.
New York.
Yes, sir.
That's where you're from.
That is where I'm from.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
How long? When did you move?
I moved here when I was 27. So for 27 years, Buffalo was the only thing I knew.
Yeah. That's a long time, man.
Yeah,
so I'm
it is.
28 now.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's my whole life.
That'd be like if you moved tomorrow to Wisconsin.
Texas. Yeah.
Texas?
Well, I lived in Texas for a year and it was cool.
Okay.
I don't know. It just popped into my head. It's like, but that's different because I already knew something about it. So did you know Seattle before? Because I saw a couple, because I was watching those clips you sent me, those ciphers. We'll get to that. But
yeah, of course.
I was watching those and you've got M's hats on.
Oh, always, yeah.
Okay. So talk to me about that.
Well, I always loved Seattle from when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I became a Mariners fan because, like, I've always wanted to not be like every other person.
Yeah.
Really?
No, that's the camera. Keep going.
Yeah. I've always wanted to not be like every other person around me. So when when I was younger, was like a Yankee fan or an Indians fan or whoever else was around, I decided to become a Mariners fan. Yeah. Just because
on your own or like
on my own. Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Well, it was a Sports Illustrated for Kids issue, and they were talking about Ichiro.
Yeah, stud.
Great, right?
One of the best ever.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Of course, absolutely. He's got to be the second.
I used to love watching him field a ball on the fucking warning track and just home base. Yeah, I got you.
He had everything.
Right.
But I was a little kid.
So fast.
Yeah, but this is before he came
behind
to
the back. Oof.
I could still do that.
Yeah, okay.
I think I could do that.
On a pop fly from a MLB.
No, not that high. Probably, I would fuck that up. But long story short, basically, I became a Mariners fan, and when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And the loving of the sports turned into loving the music that was from here, and I had this like vision though. Now you're talking when that first Mariners thing happened. I was like 11.
What first Mariners thing? Just like when
I became a fan. Okay. So I was like 11 years old is when the Seattle thing started for me.
Yeah.
But as I got older, now I'm like 22, 23.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a vision of what I think Seattle is like.
What was it?
Which is kind of like, fuck you, dude.
Grungy?
I'm going to just be what I am.
Yeah. And I think when you were 23, it probably was.
It probably was.
Probably was.
So this is what happened. This obsession with Seattle led me to, I came here for the first time in 2015, opening day against the Angels.
Oh, wow.
That was my first time ever coming here.
Damn, well, that's cool then.
Yeah, so when I came here.
It was really for that.
Literally for, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, of course.
Okay.
And then everything else that was around was just extra, just like it is now, kind of.
Sure.
Like the Mariners are priority one always.
But now you've got, you're spreading your net, though.
I'm trying to. But when I first came here, I knew nothing about Seattle at all, really. I mean, just the fantasies that I had of whatever.
When you got here, what did you think?
Bro, I was like, fuck, I got to be here, bro.
Yeah.
Because you got to think.
So you loved it?
Loved it.
Okay.
I was like, this is crazy how everything that I thought was here is here. Bro, and I love telling the story of the first moment where I knew. Mm-hmm. I was at Glow's restaurant in Capitol Hill.
Okay.
Little diner.
Yeah.
And me and my ex were here, and we were trying to find somewhere to eat for Easter morning.
Right.
Or Easter brunch. I always do brunch at home. Whatever the fuck.
Nobody eats breakfast, bro, unless you're like a real professional adult.
So we were all, it was early, and again, we're on vacation, so whatever. So we're outside of this place. We go in to see, and this is the third place we tried to go to. So it was already the third attempt of us trying to eat.
Yeah.
So we go in there, and these guys are like, yo, it's a wait, whatever. So they're like, you can just wait outside. So while we were waiting outside, now keep in mind, I'm from Buffalo.
Yeah.
I don't see, it's a city of friendly neighbors, but I don't see.
Buffalo was?
Yeah.
I didn't know
that's
that.
what they call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We'll talk more about Buffalo.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
So I was watching like homeless people or just regular people walking by, and these guys were just pouring coffee for them as they walk by.
Huh.
And I was like, that's fucking dope. And then we get in there, and we sit down, and all the waiters have tattoos. Mm-hmm. They're blasting metal music in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? Seattle is everything I thought it was.
You're telling me that Buffalo isn't like that?
No, bro. So,
bro, my idea of Buffalo is your idea of Seattle.
Nah,
that's crazy.
See, here's the thing. And now again, not to sound like a hipster, but I was getting tattooed I was heavily tattooed starting in 2009. And now you're thinking, this is probably like 2015 we're talking about at this point. Mm-hmm. So I had been tattooed for a long time, but in Buffalo getting tattooed at that time was like, how are you going to get a job?
Really?
How are you going to... People are going to look at you funny. Like, even my parents, like the first tattoo that I ever got, my dad was like, why would you ever do that?
What was your first tattoo?
Iron Maiden tattoo on my arm.
Oh, fire.
Yeah. And it wasn't the Eddie... It's the Number of the Beast album cover where the devil has a person like dangling over a fire.
I've seen that.
It's like one of the only ones that I still can't explain, but something every time I saw that when I was like just
because
like,
it's hard, man.
Oh, it's hard.
So
the
cool.
concept of like the devil is like smiling while you're being toy, bro. Like something about that. I was like, this is crazy. But I got my first tattoo, and my dad was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, don't do that."
That's a statement for your first tattoo ever. So your dad's probably thinking, "Uh-oh."
No, my dad's the reason I loved Iron Maiden. My dad's the reason I love metal music.
Yeah.
So he.
That's dope.
But the point I'm trying to make is that why are you getting a tattoo? Mm-hmm. Not why. What is it or what
Weird.
do you?
Yeah.
It was why are you getting a tattoo?
So they thought an upper arm tattoo would just your life's ruined.
It's over. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
So when I came to Seattle and everybody was like that.
Yeah, that's kind of how they are in Texas. I mean, things now, it's 2023.
Yeah.
When I lived there, it was 2019,
Yeah.
2018, I think. Like things were different there too. Like it was starting to open up, but you could tell there's a lot of like good old boys and girls that were like
sure. And
tattoos.
Yes.
Like a neck tattoo, that guy's been to jail.
That's okay. So but here, bro, I feel like that was just like everybody had beards and like, bro, even not to sound like a douche, but when I first started growing my beard, that was not a cool thing to do it is now.
Right. Same thing with my hair, bro. Like the mullet thing,
dude.
2.5 years ago, I did it at the start of COVID.
Yeah.
Just because it was like funny and like barbers weren't open, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it. Like it fits. I mean, I grew up on a horse farm. Like, I can have it.
I could see that.
I can have it, right? And so I start growing this thing out, and then like I start seeing on TikTok, there's kids with their like little tiny baby mullets, and there's little kid like 3-year-old kids with them. I'm like, all right, I see where this is going, and now it's like everyone wants one. Yeah. The glorious thing about the mullet is you can tell immediately if it belongs on someone or not. Same thing with like a nice beard.
Yeah.
It's like if you're in a nice beard, but you're in like a power suit, you're like, something feels weird.
Yeah.
Like you're not
you're doing that for a different
reason.
reason.
You're not a beard guy or you're not a suit guy.
Yeah.
You're definitely not both. There's got to only be a handful of those people in the world that can pull that off. But it's like when you see a big, long, puffy beard, you see a jean jacket. Yeah. You see tight jeans. Yeah. You see Vans. You see Chuck Taylors, right? You see fitted caps.
Yeah.
It's like it's part of your identity.
Yes.
You can tell when people are faking their identity.
And what you just described fitted hat, all that. Mm-hmm. I have been with the same style.
Yeah.
My entire
I saw those
life.
cyphers, bro.
Exactly.
Well, the one you had the mohawk. Like
I still do have the mohawk.
No, that was the Jerry clip, and we're gonna get to that.
I don't.
You already know we're gonna get to that. Yeah.
But my point is that was like 2010 to 11 you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've always had the same look where it's like and that's kind of what's one of the things that's inspired Stitch God too is that it's my style.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
nobody can take it from you.
And that's the thing. But what bothers me is I don't want to sound like a douche that I've been wearing band shirts forever.
Well, I mean, why?
It feels douchey to me. Because I feel like my whole thing got like
hijacked? Not
hijacked, but like when I came here.
Yeah.
It all of a sudden was everybody looked like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like the thing I thought was cool was like because in Buffalo I stood out because of whatever.
Okay.
And I hung around people with tattoos.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
sure.
But then again,
then you come to Seattle and everybody.
It's every person has got the same look. Like, bro, my girl loves. She loves when I wear like a.
Uh-oh. I like where this is going.
Not a thong or anything like that.
Damn.
No,
come on.
Yeah, no, and she thinks it's dope when I wear something other than what I wear.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
So, like, when I wear a flannel, though,
yeah.
here's my problem.
Uh-oh.
You're going to love this.
Oh, no.
I put the flannel on, and it's funny. My boy Trav threw me a flannel. I can't tell that story, but we were at a wedding, and I didn't know I was supposed to look nice for the reception, and I only had like the wedding gear and then whatever.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Threw me. So I have shout out to my boy Trav. So I got this one flannel, and she's like, "Yo, just wear it." And I'm like, "All right." So the couple times I put it on one time, bro. I walk outside. And tell me why it's like 3 dudes with the same colored flannel too. And it's just like I look at and I see that even with the glasses I wear now, bro, I'm pissed about these now. Because when I picked them out, I was like, I never even saw anybody with clear looking like that. And now everybody.
Oh, in Seattle, bro. Yeah.
It's like, dude,
you'll get the clear yellow, the clear red.
Drives me nuts. I just
don't,
bro. And I'm all for people doing a rockin', however, but I just hate like I just pride myself in not looking like a cookie cutter person.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
But I guess that's where it's like. I get what you're saying. So the hair, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has one.
Of course.
People, the first thing they ask me, how long you been growing it? Because they want to know.
They love it.
If I was trendsetter or if I was follower, right?
Yeah.
And I think most people just looking at me, they're like, nah, you've probably had that your whole life.
You
probably
definitely
came out of the
were born
womb with that.
Yeah. Joe Dirt.
Right? Yeah. There was actually, this is going to be a tangent. I'm sorry, but I do this, and this is what people are going to have to know about me. Real quick story. We work at the same place.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll get into that too. But
yeah.
We, the other day we had, I don't remember what the show. Oh, it was a country show. It was Mitchell Tenpenny.
Yeah.
So he was at Soto. You were there.
I was there for that.
Okay,
one.
so in the front, I may have told you this then, but anyway, in the front, this girl, she's got a Coors Light can, and she's like, "Yo, is there a garbage up there?" And I was like, "The whole thing's like, just throw it up here, like throw it on the floor." And she's like, "Oh, I just like, is there a garbage? I want to throw it in the garbage." And I thought she was just being conscious, just being woke. And I was like, I said, "Here, just give me it." And I felt immediately that it was like hot and like a quarter of the way full. And I was like, what the fuck? So I like, without thinking, because I grabbed it and my plan was all ready to just throw it.
Yeah.
I like kind of grab it and throw it. It hits bottom side down and just this white, clearish liquid. Oh. And I was like, what in the fuck? She said, there was breast milk in that.
It was breast milk. I was thinking you were going to say it was pee.
Yeah, no. And I said, what?
You definitely did not tell me this.
I said, what is breast milk doing in a Coors Light can? And then, I like walk off. Everybody's laughing. She's embarrassed. I felt bad, but like, what are you doing? Come on. Let me know beforehand. Be like, hey, just make sure this gets in the garbage.
Son, she did say, do you have a garbage?
I mean,
and
true,
you said,
true.
Just throw it. So
that's me. That's me
sorry.
not being,
well, why would you be expecting that?
Yeah, exactly. Never seen.
Of all things.
I've worked shows for 8 years. I've worked 2,500 plus shows.
Yeah.
Never once has that happened. Weird shit's happened, but not like that.
That's what we should talk about.
Yeah, for real. We will. I guess the point I'm making with that is be careful. You never know what you're going to get in your Coors Light. I think what the joke I ended up coming back and making to like ease the embarrassment was like, nah, it's cool. That's what I grew up on.
Oh.
Coors Light and breast milk.
Coors Light and breast milk.
It was funny. So at Mitchell Tenpenny, as far as I know, we don't sell Coors in a can.
Yeah.
Like at all. I've never seen it. And for Mitchell Tenpenny.
Did you confirm if that was a special thing?
No, I didn't. No. I go up to the bar though, and I'm like, I see 3 or 4 people like holding 2 cans of Coors in each hand. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, makes sense. And then I was like, wait, we don't even sell that.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking, man, they immediately stereotyped. They knew he was coming. They're like, we better pack up on Coors Light.
Not have just Rainier.
Yeah, for real. Well, what's crazy is like real country folk from out here, they'll drink Rainier. They love Rainier.
Which is hilarious.
It doesn't have to be Coors Light.
Bro, it's so crazy that you say country folk out here. Now, this just goes back to what we were just talking about. Mm-hmm. No idea of, like, what was going on out here.
Yeah.
Just like when people think of Buffalo.
People think of Washington as Seattle.
Thank you. Yeah. So when people think of New York, they think of New York City and Manhattan only. Mm-hmm. So, like, the number one question for me is, like, oh, you're from Buffalo. Like, you a Rangers fan? And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, they're in New York, aren't they? And I'm like, listen, I'm a 7-hour drive away from Manhattan. Like, there's no way. But I had no idea that, like, bro, that shit at the Gorge, whatever they call that.
You mean
Watershed?
Yeah.
I didn't think there was that many people that even liked country music.
Did you go?
No, are you kidding me, bro?
I was like, that would have been a bad time for you,
bro. Everybody's like, oh, the party. I'm like, bro, but the whatever shit's coming out of the speakers would make me puke.
Oh, come on.
I'm not going to ever take it easy on country.
We're going to get into this shit again. But
I'm really not going to be easy on country ever.
it's crazy to me that you're so intolerant of country music.
It's not that I'm so intolerant of it. It's just that bro, music is really, really important to me.
Huge to me.
So like,
huge to me.
Really in my heart, like
Yeah.
like every person who's ever recorded something musical,
Yeah.
I'm jealous of.
Have
I'm
to
envious
immediately
of,
respect it. Yeah.
and you have to respect
Have
it
to.
right away.
Especially people that play their music for people.
Dude, I mean, literally.
Crazy.
It's unbelievable to think of how much I respect that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to country music, that's why I'm so passionately like, ugh, dude, because it's just like, there's no substance to it compared to like other shit. And I don't know. I'm one of the people that could literally say to you, I listen to everything because I will count that I like Chris Stapleton as country.
Yep.
I will count that some Neil Young songs sound like country music.
Yep.
Kinda.
Yep.
A little bit.
We worked that Neil Diamond shit the other night. Oof.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Ugh,
Don't say Neil Diamond next
terrible.
to Neil Young, by the way.
It's terrible. I'm just saying, it's like, it just reminded me of that.
Neil.
Did you work that or no?
Yeah,
Super
dude,
Diamond?
I was just fucking yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was just standing there.
You're right.
Yeah, I was just standing there.
Honestly, you got kind of lucky by being all the way out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like, I don't know.
Pretty bad.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
'Cause
I mean,
people
like, he sings good. Cool. Like I said, you got to respect people that go on stage.
Yes.
Put on their outfits. Do their whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like, oof, I don't like it.
But Neil Diamond has a cover band that draws that many people. That's the shocking
Sold out.
thing to me.
Sold
bro.
out. Every single time. Sold out.
Well, good for them, dude.
Same audience every time.
Yeah.
Can't stand them. If anybody that's listening to this for some reason was there,
Yeah.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Don't
everybody,
treat people like shit just because you drink too much wine.
I didn't have any bad experiences.
Yeah.
I had a couple like you can't come back in kind of
Yeah.
experiences.
Chill, lady.
Yeah, you're
chill.
good.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have your phone. That was the dude that didn't have his phone.
Yeah, for real. The dude that's like holding his phone.
He was
like,
holding
Where's
it.
my phone?
Yeah, dude. He was
Yeah.
holding it.
Or his wallet. Or,
No,
yeah,
it was
dude.
his phone for
People
sure.
were a mess.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we had this. So we were at Mitchell Tenpenny. Tyler Braden opened for Mitchell Tenpenny. Tyler Braden, to me, has a couple songs that are beautiful.
Yeah.
Lyrically.
Yeah.
Musically, like, I get that it's not hard music. Like, it's not like super technical music. Okay.
I'm not even a guy that likes it super technical either. By
But
the way.
it's like, for me in my brain, I love music with time signatures that just everything matches up.
Yeah.
The way that every third word is on a beat. It's just start to finish.
That's
it
called
makes
pop
sense.
music.
It's good. Okay. Yeah.
That's called pop-
I see where you're going
pop
with that.
music is
Yeah.
what that's called.
But it's just like, it's what my brain likes.
Yeah.
I don't like pop music. Traditional, like, I don't
Country
like
music is pop music in 2023, and you can write it down from my mouth to the world.
Well, there is pop country.
Popular music
Yeah.
is what pop music is. So I hear country people,
Yeah.
whatever their names are. I've heard a couple of them a couple of times. That's the same to me as Britney Spears in 1999. It's just a really simple thing for people that just want to have something on in the car while they're driving. And I'll say the same thing about Tom Petty. I told you this the other night. Tom Petty is music for people that want to like music, but don't.
They just don't have a refined palate, I guess.
No,
it's easy listening.
It's easy listening to the point where they kind of like I've said the same thing about Bruce Springsteen too. But people love him. I don't get it personally.
Yeah.
But Bruce Springsteen is a guy who made music for people that want to be at their water cooler at their office and go, "Did you hear the new Bruce Springsteen song?"
The boss.
Listen, I've heard shit about it. My boys, shout out to my boy Guillory. I have been adamantly just anti-Bruce Springsteen guy, and a couple of my boys love him. Every time I get in this fucking guy's car, he puts the Bruce Springsteen radio
To change your
on.
mind.
No, he does it just to fuck with me.
Yeah,
dude. He'll just casually put on the Bruce Springsteen radio.
Just see how long you go before you're
and it's just like I hear it right away, and I'm just like, damn, fuck this, dude.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel about country, is that it's pop music.
And so in that little disagreement, you're like, bro, The Cure.
Oh,
The Cure is what... And I'm like, dude, Tyler Braden has a song called Secrets. Where, like, the main, it's just another secret that everybody knows. That's like the chorus. But it's start to finish. It's 3 parts. Each bridge is a different part, right? The chorus is the same, obviously, but each bridge is like, the first one's like, a guy makes moonshine and sells it behind the saloon. So like the saloon owner has to do something illegal to make it by out the back of his legitimate place, right?
Yeah.
Because the legitimate place is taxed and whatever. There's all these, none of that's said, but it's like, you know what they're saying,
Yeah.
right? So he's got to do this, and he runs the risk of being caught and taken away from his family, whatever. The next one is, old man Grady spends his time at the local store.
Yeah.
And it's basically saying, the next line is, he comes for a little, but sometimes leaves with more. Right, so it's like he steals a lot, and it's because he doesn't have money, because it's alluded to that he's probably an alcoholic. This is a small town thing, right? And I know this is long-winded, but it's like I'm building the case, and I want you to tell me about a Cure song, but this is just an example of, So that's the second part. Third part is this lady, I forget what the name in the song, and it's like she drinks from a bottle she finds behind Old Red's, which is the tavern or saloon or whatever. So she's an alcoholic. She's crying because her husband went to Afghanistan. He died. She can't get the thought of him leaving out of her head is another line. And then it circles back, and she's buying her alcohol that she's an alcoholic on. She's buying her alcohol from the guy that's selling it out of the back of his store. Old man Grady is basically demented and fucked up from being an alcoholic forever, and he's stealing. His son is her husband, and he's dead, and that's what fucked him up. And it's just this one catalyst but it's spread across this song, and you don't know about it till the end. It's like it builds a story.
Yeah.
There's so many different little things that what I told you is the whole story, but it's like the way you just know that when you hear it. They don't say 8,000 words in the song, whatever. But that's the kind of music that I like, because you're in for a ride from the beginning to the end. Now, when I listened to those 3 songs you sent me of The Cure, my the overwhelming thing that I noticed was it was really sad.
Yeah.
It's super sad.
Yeah.
Depressed, super depressed. I love emo music. I grew up on AFI. I grew up on Atreyu, stuff like that. I'm not necessarily saying it's emo music. I'm just saying it's
I love Atreyu, first of all.
Yeah.
By the way,
I love a lot of those.
We discussed this, that we love them.
Yep. But yeah, it was one of those things where it's too sad for me. There's no at least what I got, I didn't get any victory. I like sad, 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 but we got it, bro. I like those songs.
Yeah. Right?
It's not like that.
Yeah. But
so I'm I can't get behind it.
I'm going to tell you why that is a perfect example of you like it to be sad, sad, sad. You got it, bro. Mm-hmm. Is that how life works, though?
That's how we want life to work.
Does it work like that, though? Or is it kind of sad, sad, sad? Fuck, dude. Oh, fuck. Again,
and then
dude?
you die.
And then you die. I'm not saying that good things don't happen.
Yeah.
But what makes a Cure song more relatable?
Yeah.
Is that, bro, I could go on for days. Robert Smith is a fucking genius. And it's because it's poetic. It's poetic.
Yeah.
And it's
And you've got him tattooed on your body.
His face is tattooed on my, yeah for real.
So, tell me why he's so important to you.
Well, that's a whole other thing. If you really, bro, I don't know how deep you're trying to get, because I don't know.
2 hours?
Well,
we're only 35 in. We're good.
Well,
you don't have to get too crazy.
I have been a sad dude for my whole life, really. And it's one of those things where, as I got older and you figure out what, doctors have figured out about stuff is, you would never know that I was.
Yeah.
And I don't try to hide it. I just naturally, kept certain things
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I do.
Because I will pry into you one day for sure. Mm-hmm. But my first feelings of sadness and depression and anxiety, and I started cutting myself very early in my life because I don't even know why I did it. And then I listen now to people like Dr. Drew explaining what that is and why people do that.
Yeah.
And he was he described that some people will do it just for attention, obviously.
Yeah.
But then he said that there are people that do it because they just need to feel something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And when I heard him say that,
I Prevail has a song about that's a great song. You might like it. anyway.
Those kind of bands, the bands like Atreyu, I'm not fully in on.
Yeah. They did a collaboration with Illenium, so it's it's an EDM metal mashup.
Yeah.
So you might not like it, but it's like
I don't mind.
the song's good, and like seeing it live is sick.
Well, of
anyway,
course.
Lots of lasers and shit. But yeah, go on.
When he said that about just trying to feel something, that's when I knew for the last 10 years I've been doing this because of that. So I say all that to say this. In high school, I was like feeling like those first feelings of sadness for whatever reason, whether it was a girl that I was with, whether it was the fact that I kind of didn't have any real real plan of like what was next, or if I was even going to get out of high school. And then all these things started, whatever.
High school is probably the worst time.
That's what I mean, man. That's being the worst time when your brain is turning into something. The Cure was like, bro, I listened to that album, and I'm not. And people exaggerate things, of course.
Would you say that you love The Cure because it's so relatable to you?
I say, yeah. Oh, okay. Of course.
Well, so in that is, you have
anything
to
could be
love
relatable.
That.
Yeah.
But to say that they're the best ever
I would never
everyone,
say that.
or
I would
or
never
whatever.
say that.
Yeah, I don't remember like exactly.
The Cure, I probably said is like the most important band to me personally.
Yeah. Okay, which is fair. I was telling Jade got so fired up because you were comparing them to Tool. You're like, Tool is like more of like a surface level, like, great instrumentals, whatever. And
I will catch shit about Tool
yeah.
because I told you I don't. Bro, and I also told you when we were talking about that 10,000 Days, that album by Tool
is in your top 5.
Is in my top 5 ever.
Right. Which is
no. If I was and only able to hear 5 albums for the rest of my life, 10,000 Days would be one of them.
Wow.
So I appreciate Tool a lot.
Yeah.
But there are some things like that last album that they put, bro. I don't know. I'll catch it. I don't even.
I mean, it's like Metallica's new album, bro.
Don't get me started.
But like Lux Eterna is like one of their newer songs.
Yeah, I don't.
I like it for like a minute. It's like sick, and then it's like, this is too much.
Bro, I don't want to ever be the guy that goes, oh, Metallica's sold out. This band's sold out.
They've earned the right to do
whatever
the fuck they want. Yes, 100%. But there is a certain time where like you might have to kind of, like, enough is enough.
Okay, no, not enough is enough. They should tour forever, I think.
Yeah.
As long as Metallica can tour, they should.
Are you going to their shows when they come through?
Bro, there is no way I don't.
It's Friday, Sunday.
This is going to be incredible.
Have you've looked into this?
Of course.
Bro, Friday. So it's like the premise is so cool. Friday, Sunday. Saturday is just a day for destroying everything, resetting it a completely different way for Sunday. So it's not like
wait.
Yeah,
you have an inside scoop here.
No.
Well, not really.
I think they talked about
this. The stage is going to be different the second day?
100%. So okay, listen.
See, I didn't know
the first
that.
day, Friday, it's like Pantera, them, and one other band I don't remember.
It's the
older bands.
No. The first one it's Pantera and the Eddie Van Halen's son's band,
right?
Mammoth VH or whatever.
Old school feels. Like this is like late 80s, early 90s feels. Like that kind of like that sound, right?
Yeah.
Sunday, totally different show. No repeat songs at all.
Yeah.
Like all different songs. And it's their newer shit. And it's with Ice Nine Kills as an opener and another new band.
Shout out to my boy Pat Galante. That's my brother.
Who's that?
He's the drummer for Ice Nine Kills.
Really?
Yeah. He's fucking.
Were you with us when we did Trinity of Terror at WAMU?
So I was in Buffalo when that happened, and I was pissed because when me and him.
It was so sick, dude.
I don't doubt it at all because I know
Ice Nine
that
Kills is so theatrical.
I know that they bring it for sure. So, but when I was in Buffalo and I was with him in Good Bar, which is my favorite bar in the world.
Yeah.
We were in there, and he's like, oh, yeah, dude, we're about to go on tour, like, blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck, when? And then I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, shit. You're going to be there.
You're right. You told me about this,
And it just so happened that we ended up going to Buffalo, like, me and my girl went to Buffalo at the same time. So we were in Buffalo when they were here.
God.
I know, dude. I was pissed. I was.
It was sick. So, because it was
I love
Atreyu opened.
I love that.
But Atreyu opened, dude. That's okay. I felt personally disrespected.
Yeah,
like, how the fuck are you going to put Atreyu at 6 p.m. Get out of here. Anyway, so it's Atreyu. It's Ice Nine Kills who was headlining actually? I think it might have been Ice Nine Kills.
That I don't remember.
Yeah.
They might have been switching every night.
And then who's Andy Biersack's band? Black Veil Brides.
Yeah.
And there was another one also. Like all great bands, for real. The show was really cool, but it's like you could tell that the way that they So it's the Trinity of Terror. So it's these 3 huge bands that every night a different person will headline.
Yeah.
And which is a cool premise.
It's a
I
smart
like that.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you could tell there's like Ice Nine Kills is like a headlining band.
Yo,
like,
dude.
every song has like a different theme. They've got, you know, like an American Psycho themed song where, you know, like they have a girl that's getting stabbed behind a curtain. There's blood flying all over. They've got another song where they've got angle grinders that they're just the people are wearing suits made of metal and they're grinding on themselves. Just sparks are flying out. It's like crazy shit like that.
Crazy shit like that. And you want to know what's cool about that? It's Metallica notices something like that and they go, "Fuck, let's
Production
go."
value's sick. Like,
Bro,
let's
so
do it.
that was one of the first things that me and Pat talked about it when we were discussing that, because I went up to him like, bro, we went to high school together, me and him.
That's
We
so
were
cool,
not
dude.
super tight,
Yeah,
whatever, but we
sure.
knew of each other forever. And me and him had
Good enough.
we had a really great moment of like,
Yeah.
we don't know many people that went to our high school at that time that
Yep.
got out of Buffalo
Yep.
and are doing something that they love doing.
Yep.
And me and him had a common bond there where
Love
we're both
that.
doing something like that.
Yeah.
But I was just so happy for him, knowing that he was in another band called Affiance at one point. Mm-hmm. And I knew that he was real into music and stuff like that. I was so happy for him that they got the call to open for Metallica in Buffalo,
Yeah.
where he's from.
So
and I was
cool.
just like, bro, I mean, I can't imagine what that feels like, but
Yeah, I mean, you
want,
know he came up on that. Like, you know,
Of course, I mean,
Yeah,
anybody that
right.
likes hard music, at some
Yeah.
point Metallica is coming through there. But
100%.
But I was just so happy for him that he had the opportunity to play at the Ralph where the Bills play, bro. Like, it was,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, congratulations.
Right.
That's it, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that tour announced, again, right away, like,
Yeah.
dude, congratulations. Like, good,
So
like,
sick.
so happy for you, like, all that.
Yeah. Is
So-
he big timing now, or is he pretty normal still?
So yeah, I mean, we were, like I said, we're not very tight,
Yeah.
whatever, but
Still.
like, yeah, we've.
But is he the type of dude
corresponded.
when you text him like, "Congrats, dude"? Is he like, "Thanks, man"?
Well, I wouldn't expect, now that I know, listen,
Yeah.
with the whole Stitch God thing,
Yeah.
I kind of have a new appreciation for anybody that has any notoriety at all.
It takes so much time.
Yes.
To get through that shit.
And I feel
yeah.
so bad even when like people message me now. Like
Yeah.
I don't even see everything.
Yeah.
So I would never expect it, but
Yeah.
but
I
shout
get
out to
that.
him though.
Yeah.
Kenmore West.
Hell yeah.
What's it-
Kenmore West.
That's the high school we
Oh,
went to.
okay.
Yeah.
Word.
Good times, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see people that you know.
Yeah. I'll say lightly no.
Yeah, like, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, though, is something's better than nothing, right?
Yeah,
It's
for
like,
sure.
You may be the smallest part in just the support from you as somebody that knew him before.
Yeah.
That might mean something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I
you
know
never
that
know.
I know that he was real tight with a lot of people that I was like tight with too.
Yeah.
Just the point is, even if we didn't even know each other, other than the fact that we just went to the same high school, just
Right.
seeing somebody that I was around at any point, living out what you hope their dream is. I mean, my boy
Yep.
Zach in LA is doing the same thing. It's not many people that I know that got out of the small. Oh man.
Like cycle, the yeah.
Literally, bro.
Yeah.
And that is the most inspiring thing. Somebody just recently asked me, and I should probably give them credit because I just did that. I just did the Instagram question thing.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me what inspired me to keep doing like the things that I'm doing now, and I'm sure we'll get to that at some point. But like just the inspiring thing to me about everything that I've done since I left Buffalo, the most inspirational part of it is not having to go back.
Yeah. Huh. That's an interesting
Like the
concept.
number one fuel
Yeah.
behind me and every single thing that I've done from May 10th, 2018 was when I moved here permanently.
Yeah.
Every single thing that I've done from there
Yeah.
is just so I didn't have to go back.
So crazy. So I mean, but you love Buffalo.
Of course.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
I love-
It's such a interesting
bro.
thing.
I was, and I've told this story a billion times. So if anybody that I know is hearing me say this for the 7,000th time, I was in a lot of bars. I was a bar guy, drinking guy, DJ guy, out and about guy.
Right.
They call them bar stars in Buffalo.
Bar star.
Yeah. I was in a bar, old man bar, that I was one of the first ones that I frequented. Dooley's, the place was called.
Doolies.
I was sitting there and I was having a conversation with just some regular older dude. And you could say whatever you want here, but older dudes are very important to me.
Yeah.
A lot.
Tons of life experience.
And I mean that in the best way possible because of exactly what you just said. It's a dude in a bar, older. That's the guy that you might want to hear something that he said.
100%.
So this, I don't even remember who it was. But I was talking about, and I've always talked about being in Seattle. That was another thing we didn't touch on before. Since I was a little kid, that's all I talked about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there somehow. I'm gonna be there somehow. I gotta work for the Mariners. I never had a plan B.
That's
ever.
wild.
Always.
That's so wild.
Forever. We could touch on that too.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
want. My whole life, that's it.
Getting there. That's after second break.
So, I'm sorry we're going out of order.
No,
But
we're good.
The guy said to me, and he looked me dead in my eyes, and we were drinking and whatever.
Yeah.
He said, you got to leave Buffalo once to see if it's your home or just where you grew up.
That's so profound.
It's so fucking profound,
Yeah.
bro. Because,
I love that this is like a serious podcast too.
It's-
Because
of
the
course.
first one was so unprofessional.
Bro,
It's like,
I'm a serious guy.
It's good that we're gonna be able to show
Yeah.
people that I'm capable of this.
oh, for sure.
But,
and I'm happy.
yeah.
I'm happy to be the one that
No,
you-
I mean that's so like, I mean that's so profound.
it's the deepest shit ever because, and I'll tell you what,
I did this. I did what you're saying. I moved to Houston.
and you came back.
And this is my home.
This is your home.
I love it here.
Yes.
I don't agree with so many things that happen here.
yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like when you see Mount Rainier, I don't know if you got to see it today on
Are
your
you
drive
fucking
up.
kidding me?
It's,
Why do you think it took me so long? Every time I
that's what
saw
I'm
that
saying.
fucking thing, I was like,
yeah.
it's unbelievable. Yeah.
It's like you can feel that in your bones. There's
100%.
a weird magnetism. I
Yep.
don't know if you have something like this in Buffalo. That's a similar thing, but it's
People
like,
would say Niagara Falls,
Yeah.
but it's not that for me.
right. Well, and that's what's important, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be a building, it could be a bar, whatever.
Yeah.
There's something that when I'm away from it, I went to Arizona this time last year. I'm gone for a week, and I'm just like, I want to go home. Dude.
Yeah.
It's a weird magnetism, and it could be like a real scientific thing.
Bro,
It
you
could
want
be
to talk
like-
about magnetism? I just told you my whole life there was something in Seattle I
Yeah.
needed to be near.
Uh-huh.
And there you go. Maybe that was it the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I see that fucking thing and I'm
maybe
just like, fuck,
it's
bro.
on a morning, you know. There's a million different ways I could put this, but like, there's just certain times that you see the mountain, and the way that it presents itself to
Yeah.
you, it will like make you stop what you're doing. You could be 10 minutes late to work. It will make you stop.
Yeah.
It will make you pull over. You won't even want to take a picture.
Yeah.
Like you just want to
Yeah.
look at it. It's just crazy to think that something like that exists.
And I can tell you as an outsider looking in,
Yeah.
when I first moved back here, the house that I lived in had a perfect view of it every single day. And there was
Yeah.
times that I literally would just
I
stop.
mean, I grew up 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
Like the thing was like you could reach out and touch it on a clear day.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't remember what got us on this. Oh, exactly what you just said happened to me.
Oh, when I went to Houston, yeah.
The first time that I flew home to Buffalo,
Yep.
after I lived here, I could not wait
To come back.
to come back here.
Nice.
And that was me visiting my home for the first time. It was 13 months in between the time that I
Yeah.
had last been there. And I'd had, bro, even the last time I was just home a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
I don't even, it's like my brain doesn't even work there, bro.
Yeah.
And I explain it to people like this. I'm a balloon.
That's a good soundbite. I'm a balloon.
I'm a balloon. But I'm a balloon.
Okay.
And I was not, my inflation did not start until I left Buffalo. And I left Buffalo and came out here and failed the first time.
Didn't
I
know
was
that.
here for 4 months,
Huh.
and I went back. That's a whole other story that I
Yeah.
feel like is crazy.
Yeah.
Because I went back for a girl, and I would never
Uh-oh.
recommend that to anybody ever to do that.
Yeah.
It taught me the greatest lesson in my life, but I would never recommend doing it.
Is it worth the lesson?
I'm telling you, bro, if you want to get deep, you're talking to somebody that was very deep into therapy,
Yeah,
that like a very, like I could go deep with you, and I
Yeah.
have with people a million times. That all depends on what you're trying to do.
I think we'll have you a couple times.
I
man,
hope so.
To be honest.
Because I feel like there's a lot
yeah,
going on.
there's a lot to learn about everyone.
For sure, and
But-
that's the thing, and that's what is so beautiful about things like that is there's a lot to learn about everybody, and if you could take a lesson like I did from that dude at the bar,
Yeah.
or you could take a lesson from, I mean, I came out here and I failed, bro. I wasn't making enough money, and I had to go back, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, as soon as I left, the biggest inflation happened from when I left here to go back to Buffalo, and that was when I felt it. I felt like it's like coming out, and then when I left the second time and I got here, my balloon started inflating.
Yeah.
And now it's big and it's like powerful and it's like strong because I've changed how my mind works. I've changed how I approach things. I've changed a lot about myself. But when I go back to Buffalo, whether it's for
Yeah.
2 days, a week, whatever, the air starts coming out.
Okay. I was wondering where the metaphor was going.
The metaphor is that when I'm not here,
you want your balloon full.
I want my balloon full.
And it's full here.
It's full here.
That's important.
And as soon as I go back, and again, like you asked, I love Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
I love my family that's there, my friends. Everything I knew for 27 years
Yeah.
is still there.
Yep.
But when I go back, me personally,
Yeah.
I don't feel like the new me.
Yeah.
I don't feel, and I say new me with emphasis on
The
new
metamorphosis.
me.
Yeah.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
I changed since I've been here.
Yeah.
And it's not a change that I take lightly. It took me a lot to get to who I am now.
Yeah.
And I changed almost everything about how I think.
Not your
and
style, though.
No, of course. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I transformed that into something too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Let's do another little break real quick because my battery's just about to die.
And I should probably pee.
Yep. I'll get 2 more and then we'll be right back.
Oh,
This is where I gotta put a
vase, dude.
a vase.
And it reminds me of that same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because the outer shell of it
Right.
is not very tough.
Yeah. Well, so what's interesting about these, and we're back.
Yeah.
What's interesting about these is they're from.
Oh.
So I think I said that on the first one, but I don't remember if I edited it out or whatever. They're from the green rooms. They're like the OG. So there's like, yeah.
There might be some history on
Yeah.
this couch. That's
So,
fucking sick,
There's
dude.
probably some history. There's like cigarette burn marks and stuff, and it's
Fuck
like, yeah,
dude.
most people are like gross, but I'm like, dude, the history in that is
History.
nuts. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, they were in there for like 12 years or something, so it's like maybe nobody like huge, but whatever.
There's been some huge people in there.
I'm gonna get rid of them soon.
Why?
So it's this and this, so it makes a big L. They're like flaking, so if you don't have that like blanket over it, like
I said, I got the same
you
thing.
get like pleather all
Yeah.
over your fucking body, and it's
all
like,
over my
just-
house.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things, and then it's like just to make it a little bit more professional, like you said, like I've got lights, I got
You
mics,
definitely have
I've
lights.
got yeah. Well, that's how you got to do it, man, or else everybody looks silly. So, you know, like I put 12 hours into the studio at least. So it's like I want 2 or 3 like good single chairs, like just nice, like not recliners, but like just a nice chair.
Yeah.
And then I'll just put a table, like a big table.
This is comfortable like this,
Yeah.
though. Because if you had another person sitting here, like if there
Yeah.
was 3 of us
Well,
sitting
then maybe just like 2 nice love seats, like a love seat over there, a love seat over here, right?
No.
Something like that. No.
Because the love seat might be too small if you had 2 people sitting.
Well, that's like the size of yeah. I guess that's true.
love seat's like here.
No. Love seat's it's the 2. It's the
That's a
2-seater.
2-piece. This is like a
Two-seater.
3-piece though.
Yeah.
So then you have another
Well-
person over here. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. With the
I love this couch being here.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
cool to me.
Me too. Well, I've got like tons of posters and shit. They're around. They're like on top of that cooler. And
I
like,
always try to get them to the shows
Yeah.
that I've been to.
well, I'll show you upstairs. I've got a few you might like. I've got like a signed Cannibal Corpse. Like I've got all kinds of like
Buffalo
cool
Legends.
shit. Oh, really?
Cannibal
I didn't know
Corpse.
that.
Yes, sir.
I just like I fuck with their music and they're cool when they come through. But it's like
Legends.
I like to just procure a thing or two from each show if I can.
Yeah.
Something that I've been doing for the last couple years at least, since we got back from COVID. Because when music went away for me, live music,
Awful.
things got very
sure.
tough, very
Yeah.
dark. The only job I had was the ambulance, and it's like I used to be able to go to a job and like unwind, and I can't do that now. So
Yeah. You and a lot of other people, I feel like.
yeah.
That shit
so
was awful.
It was awful. And then we also had in Seattle, you know, we had the chop zones
Yeah.
where people are shooting each other.
Yeah.
You know.
Not
Ugh,
what I signed
it's
up
the
for.
worst. The worst.
Not what I signed up for.
Anyway, let's move away from that because I hate it. So, anyway, yeah, what I've been doing is I'll do like a 2 or 3 second Snapchat or like Instagram story of every show.
Yeah.
Just so that I can get these memories. Like
Yeah.
2 years ago today, there was a day recently. I think it might have been the Mitchell Tenpenny Day. I don't remember, but it was like, 4 years ago today, 3 years ago today, 2 years ago today, 1 year ago today. Some of the best shows I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Like back to back. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is a good day in history for music.
Yeah.
So it's just cool to have that.
That's really dope. I worry about that the same reason I worry about they stopped printing tickets out.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can still get them, but it's a lot harder.
But if something happens to your phone, you don't have that all of a sudden. And
well, what's nice about Snap though is it backs like it's a cloud thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean that's one little silver lining.
But if you didn't have that when you were 60 years old.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I have some things on my Snap that are like way old that it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's kind of cool that that's still there
Yeah.
for sure.
The scrapbook mentality is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's
I
kind
have
of
a binder.
something I was gonna get to, and that just reminded me again.
Yeah.
So I feel like most people I know that have been through some real shit,
Yeah.
they're artists in one way or another way. So do you feel like that describes you?
Bro, I got to tell you something from my heart. No one's ever said it to me like that ever. Because I never believed. This is such a wild thing. That's a great question because I never thought about it like that. But what I have thought about is I never had a thing.
Yeah.
I never had like one thing, and that's
Yeah.
my ADHD brain to the max.
Yeah.
And that's something I never believed was a real thing until I got older and realized it's a very real problem that my
Yeah.
brain has.
Yep.
I never had a hobby. I never had like the cipher thing was huge for me because it was me feeling creative for the very first time.
Absolutely.
And I never felt myself. I always told my boy Zach. I was always like the idea guy.
Yeah.
And we always joke creative consultant. But like I never had my thing. I just was like, oh, your thing is dope. What if we added this to it to make it doper?
Right.
But to ask, did my pain, because the last breakup that I went through changed everything about everything for me.
Yeah.
And it was during a very strange time of learning my new craft
Yep.
that I was dealing with the worst pain that I've ever dealt with in my life.
And that's kind of exactly what I'm saying. So this is where
Yes, dude.
This
So
is
I
where
guess,
like you sort of use that as that's a catalyst.
it was a weapon.
You use creativity to fill a hole.
Yeah.
And the thing that's cool about creativity is that you get something at the end, right? So there's
Yeah.
a finished product. And so that's why like I never really understood the whole like art thing. Like people
Yeah.
stand at an art gallery and just like,
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck are you looking at for
Yeah.
so long? Like it's just abstract art, but it's not. It's like you can see where, you know, the type where people throw the paintbrush, right? You can
Yeah.
see the strokes that were like really fucking hucked on there,
Yes.
and you can see the strokes that were placed on there because like I need to add something here.
And you see how quickly you just understood something
Yeah.
that you didn't get just because you looked at it from a different perspective.
Right. Well, and exactly.
Yeah.
And like most people won't think like that, but it's like it's just certain things are created certain ways, and you can look at them and like kind of feel it. It's the same thing with music. It's
Yeah.
like some music is super heavy.
Yeah.
But it can be, the lyrics could be about Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Right? Like as a joke. It's like, it's being able to understand like the feeling behind an
Yeah.
art piece.
So that's crazy that you say it like that too, because the first thing that happened was me being hurt and learning how to sew to the point where I'm like
Good at it.
fast with it.
Yeah.
Not good at it, because I still don't
Well,
think I'm good at it.
Yeah, like
I don't know how
you're
to-
able to put your thoughts down faster so
Yeah.
that they don't like stagnate and
Yeah.
get lost. Yeah.
But then Jillian, my current girl,
Mm-hmm.
I guess fiance. I hate saying that. Ugh.
What are you, French?
Bro, here's the thing about that. It's that Seinfeld episode where the lady goes, "Oh, my fiance! I can't find my fiance,"
Mm-hmm.
and that's something always stuck in my head. That I've either called to her, "This is Jillian,"
Yeah.
or "This is my wife," and she's not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But either way,
Sure.
once she came along,
Yeah.
she was like the beginning. It felt like every single thing that happened before Jillian was like gone.
Interesting.
And as soon as she stepped into my life, that's when I started thinking different. Okay?
Why do you think that is?
Because she was. You're gonna get me all emotional thinking about her,
okay.
bro.
Well, you don't
So,
have to. It's up to you.
I would love to tell you the story of how I met her and how it all happened. I would
Yeah.
love to.
Uh-huh.
But what happened was is the ultimate goal, I feel like, for a lot of people, and me included, was to find somebody that is going to make you feel the true feelings of love, which is like you like can't survive without them. And the way that I was feeling going into that is I didn't think I even knew I could feel love anymore.
Sure.
And I saw Jillian, and it all changed. Everything changed. So when I found that missing piece, went right where it had to go, and all of a sudden I was like, it was like a transformer, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like the piece that had to get the motor going, all of a sudden got it in there.
Yeah, that's a crazy analogy.
And it's crazy because it's true.
Yeah,
I'm not even just trying to...
No, I hear you 100%. I think a lot of people have felt that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whether it's like any kind of turning point to lead you to that.
Yeah.
But as soon as... I mean, bro, without exaggerating, as soon as she was full-time in my life, all of a sudden my brain opened up. And that could be because she was like smoke some pot. Yeah. It could be because she supports everything that I've done. But all of that stuff came from pain initially. And now when I'm like, even now, when I'm having like a bad day.
Yeah.
This still happens to me. I went to therapy for like a while.
Yeah.
And all that. And it kind of changed how I was able to like deal with certain things.
Right.
Anxiety is bare minimum now, but there are some days where I wake up and I'm just like, "Fuck, dude."
I feel that.
And it's such a weird feeling because like it's like everything's cool.
Yeah.
Right now, I think everything's cool.
In
but
the
4 hours from
world,
now,
but not internally.
No, dude.
Yeah.
No, that's not even what I mean.
No? Oh.
No. I'm saying like everything is cool in my life.
Okay.
I got a roof over my head. I got a girl. I got several jobs. I have
Yeah.
But 4 hours from now, something just ticks in my brain, and all of a sudden I'm just like, bro, what the fuck?
Like you're just always on the clock.
Is the
for
point?
Something,
Yes, dude.
Something's counting down. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's like, what is the point of any of this shit? That happens to me a lot. But
Yeah.
now, before it would just be like ignoring it or drinking or whatever. Now, I sit down with that sewing machine now.
Yeah.
And all of that comes out into whatever it is that I'm doing. And it's
Yeah.
crazy, bro. Because
But it's healthy, and you get something out of it, which
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
like, I disassociate a lot too, all
Yeah.
the time. I don't know. I haven't really talked about it in episode 1. Anybody that knows me already knows, but like, I've been an EMT for 8 years.
Yeah.
That's a pretty hard job sometimes.
You told me one
days.
story that I kind of wish you didn't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And I mean, it's crazy.
Not
that
that-
happens to me a lot. Like,
Not that I wish you didn't, because I'm like too afraid to know that. It's just
Yeah.
that I hate knowing that you had to deal with that one
yeah.
specific situation, let alone that 500 times.
Yep.
Which sucks.
Yep. Yeah. So it's that's kind of how it is. And so I guess the point that I'm making is, in our job field, it's really like common knowledge that shit gets rough for
Yeah.
people. And like it has for me before, but you know, like I like to try and always be an advocate for like the people in that. Like, we don't get paid enough money, man. No, nowhere near it. Most people don't actually know. Like, if I put a poll out, you know, that's like, how much does an EMT in Seattle make? 85% of people would be like, ooh, $40 an hour. Nope. Not even close.
Well,
try half of that.
that's not cool.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
The
because there's
point
a lot
is-
of shit going on here that's probably not happening in other places. Too.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and it's like, it's a good business model. You can't necessarily fault them for the business model. It's smart for them if they like making money and they're doing a good job of making money. It's
Yeah.
like they know that we care a lot about helping people. And they know that we don't have other things that we do. Like, you don't go from like saving people's lives, being in people's houses at 3 a.m., you know, while this is happening or that's happening. You don't go from that type of job to like, I'm going to go be a server.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
You hate it. It's not the same. So they know that they got people kind of where they want them. So that's just kind of part of that. Why was I talking about that? I disassociate a lot. So what it used to be for me was going out every weekend and getting hammered with my friends.
Yeah.
Tons of money, bad for your body.
Yeah.
You don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
You have fun. It's a temporary fix. You make friends, a little bit long-term fix, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not the best for you. Then I started going out to the casino with my friends and getting hammered, and that's a triple whammy. So bad for your body, bad for your wallet, bad for your brain, whatever.
That's really not good.
But it's disassociating. So
Yeah.
it's like you're spending a lot of time in a building that's specifically made.
Help
There's no
people.
windows.
Yeah.
There's no clocks. There's shiny lights. There's crazy carpet that you don't want to look at, so you always look up. There's reflective ceiling sometimes, so you want to look down. Like, they keep your eyes on the games. They keep the auditory is covered, visual is covered. It's always like kind of cold in there, so you want to hunker down or like dress
comfortable.
whatever. Yeah. So that's kind of, they pump oxygen into it a lot of times so that you're more awake like the whole time you're there. You don't want to leave. You realize, spend 14 hours. Like,
You've
I gotta
been in
go.
a casino for 14 hours?
Lots of times. There was.
Here's my thing. I'm not a casino guy at all.
We've got a blackjack table right there with 6 regulation decks, clay chips. Like, it's as real as it can be, so that statistically I can feel things out. Like, I play poker pretty legitimately.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the money right now to be doing that again, but I mean, I didn't really then either.
Do you think
in like 20? In like,
are you talking about a gambling problem that you think? Or just like
so this is what I'm getting. So in like 2018, I was up like almost at the end of the year, but that's playing every day with like $100. Anytime I'd go to the casino, $100 minimum.
And you're playing cards?
Yeah, blackjack, roulette, almost only. I would very rarely touch slot machines. If I was up, I'd go like, so this is like to my pocket. I'd go be okay with losing like $300 on slots because maybe you hit something, whatever. I still leave up for no problem.
That's
it's
world
crazy.
I don't understand.
Bro, I played every spin in roulette for hours and hours and hours. It's to most people it's like crazy. That feeling you get is very similar to the feeling you get when you're driving on the wrong way on the freeway with lights and sirens, fucking dodging cars with somebody in the back that's dying.
Artie Lang, in his book, said that a gambling addiction is harder to get over than a heroin addiction. So circling back on the disassociation part, now are you like hyper-focusing on another...
Yep, pretty... Well, not hyper-focusing. This is where I was kind of going earlier with the art thing. It's like art helps kind of like heal people, and it's good because you get something out of it. So like in all of my stuff, it's like high adrenaline. It's like drifting. It's like, flat track racing. All my videos are something like that. Yeah. I don't have a video about like sewing yet. And when we do, it's going to be a little high adrenaline. We've already kind of talked about it. We're going to get to that actually, but all of my stuff is like that. It's like high adrenaline. It's fun.
Wait, we kind of did talk about you look at the drone and like we might light some shit on fire.
We're going to talk about this on the podcast though because I have an idea that I think is kind of cool.
Okay.
And I want to talk about it. I'm excited.
Go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, I spent instead of 12 hours at the casino, I spent 12 hours in here. I spent money instead of at the casino here, where I get a material thing that I have that I get to keep. Yeah. Chips you don't get to keep. You cash them in, you get money, and that money goes away.
And you don't keep that.
Right. Yeah. So, well, except for all of those hundreds that are definitely real. Don't look at them too hard.
You could tell how real they are by the purplish color, too.
Super fake. No big deal. Doesn't matter. They work at Starbucks. No, I'm just kidding. I would never. So, to answer your question, I play a lot of video games now.
Yeah.
I play cards here a lot. Like we had a poker tournament last night. I do other things for sure. But I also work. So that's why shows and music are so important to me. That's how I know it's important, is because I don't get something out of that necessarily. I feel rewarded or whatever, and I get a free concert, but it's like, and I get a check. I don't know. I guess it's nice, but I'm not creating something there. I like creating stuff all the time if I can. I've been waiting to do this podcast forever because the one with Jade just dropped last week. I really want
more.
Yeah.
So that's something I could definitely relate to, is just wanting more out of something.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the point I guess I'm making is your question was, do I still disassociate with other shit? Yeah. Here and there. It's not as necessary anymore because I'm part-time on the ambulance. I'm very rarely there.
Yeah.
I'm full-time. I've never actually said the name of where we work. It's okay.
You should take that out just in case.
I don't know, dude. I've wrestled with that for a while. Like, 'cause why? Right? It's like, it's on my fucking, well, anyway.
I think that the only reason why is like, you got to look at it from a perspective of like, you want this to be really big someday, right?
I think so.
Okay, so like.
Okay, so we'll cut that out.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
Because you want this to be big.
Yeah. But I want to be able to talk about
You should be able to talk about
I'm going to talk about shows.
Of course.
But yeah, I've thought about that a lot.
Because you're not just trying to, you're not doing this just for your friends.
Right, and I won't say like, it's just on a scale right now where like that's how it feels. But you're right. Eventually, I want to get bigger. So
think real big.
Yeah.
And that's the mantra of Stitch God. Not if, when.
Yeah. That's a sick mantra.
Yeah, and you want it, and it literally, quickly to just change the subject so you know to take whatever out.
Yeah, that just makes me want to do this. Nice. All right.
That's kind of cool that you have a little. See, that's.
I've got a few like that comes in handy sometimes. Yeah.
That's very serious that you have that programmed in there like that.
This is to show people that we're in a live audience show.
Oh yeah. Well, I hadn't heard them until just now.
Yeah, they were really quiet. Okay, guys, stop. All right. There you go. That's money.
That conversation that sparked the mantra of Stitch God came from. I developed like I guess you'd say a friendship kind of connection with Donnie Walton.
Okay.
Former Seattle Mariner prospect. He's now in the Giants organization. Mm-hmm. My guy, Big League Don, is the hashtag we had going.
There you go.
Because he was a factor every time he got brought up.
Hashtag Big League Don.
Hashtag Big League Don. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to just put that in here. I'm gonna tag as much shit as I can every time. Like, yeah.
That's my boy. So I would love if you did that.
Cool.
And that kind of turned into like one of the first Stitch God things ever. Is that I had people yelling at him in spring training last year. Let's go, Big League Don. I could tell you stories for days. Like it was a whole thing. But I was having a conversation with him about like, yo, when you're up, or when are you back up? We should go crush beers or whatever. Because he kind of lived near me.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, if I get called back up, like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I said, if. The fuck are you talking about, if? Mm-hmm. I said, when you come back up, we're going to go crush beers. And he was like, fuck yeah, dude. And then that turned into kind of I took a step back and realized that my whole thing is that.
Yeah.
Because I have been wanting to work for the Mariners in some capacity and be in Seattle since I was a little ass kid.
Yep. With
no plan. And it wasn't if I was going to do it, it was when. And that's kind of what the mantra of Stitch God has become.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. It makes a lot of sense. I totally get it. Big League Don.
Big League Don.
Shout out. All right.
Yeah.
So we did jump around a little bit. Let me see here. What is your goal with Stitch God? What is the... I understand that it's a kind of a concept.
It's Stitch God is a thing. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
The whole idea of it is a concept and a way of thinking.
But and at the end of the day, you call your fan base the Stitch Heads.
Stitch Heads, yeah.
That's
so it is a thing. It's both, I guess you'd say. It's a thing, a mindset, but it's also I am also Stitch God, like obviously.
Right.
But that's why it's the logo even.
Yeah.
Is like kind of just a silhouette because it's not a person.
Yeah.
It's a faceless person. Nameless.
Yeah. Anonymous.
Yeah. Really. Yeah.
Like the bat signal.
Yeah. Exactly,
I love
bro.
that.
Same kind of thing.
I love that, yeah.
The goal.
Yeah. Like, maybe this will be easier. What does it look like in 1 calendar year from today?
Can I be very honest?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the whole point. Oh, okay.
I don't know what the end goal of Stitch God is because
let's project. Let's think.
So a year ago, and I want to make sure that I give credit where it's due. Mm-hmm. A year ago, I was talking about doing battle jackets with a dude who's like a little higher up with the company.
What's a battle jacket?
This is what I'm wearing. Okay. Basically, the idea it comes from like 80s metal kids.
Yeah.
And it really just came from like just putting patches of bands that you had seen and you had been to and you wear it all the time and it's kind of like you go into battle with it, right?
Sure. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's like kind of one of the mainstays of what I make now where it's really kind of just like all the ones that I've done are starting points for you to like, okay, now I'm going to add this to this. So everything on mine is there for a reason. I just added the 3 to it because of that whole Damar Hamlin thing that happened. Yeah. Show my support for him or whatever.
Yep.
But like the bat signal, I got the Buffalo joint on this one. And as you go along, there's nothing on here of a band that I didn't see.
Yeah.
But even now what I've been doing is I've been taking old T-shirts that don't fit anymore. Or they're all fucked up or ripped.
Yep.
You cut the logos off of that. And I now have some of my favorite shirts that I've ever had sewn to the back of this jacket.
Which is sick. I saw it, yeah. We'll get a couple pictures and we'll throw shit in there.
So the idea there was I was just gonna kind of make ones that were like starting points for people.
Yeah.
Where like you don't know exactly where it's gonna be, but you like Slipknot and you like Lamb of God and you love fucking Motorhead. So here's the back patch, here's the Slipknot patch, this patch, and then that's really what my first thought was that I wanted to do that.
Okay.
Outside of jerseys.
So like
right.
make these like starter battle jackets.
Starter battle jacket,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I also wanted to throw my own spin into it, where
Yeah.
sports is also very important too.
Right.
So the first few ones that I did, it have a Kraken, whatever. But prior to me doing all of that,
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a dude. His name's Jared Geary. Mm-hmm. Dude's a fucking genius. At the end of the day, he kind of just has like a marketing mind, or like a. He approached me and he says, did you get a sewing machine yet? And I thought he was just busting my balls.
Yeah.
Because he is a guy that busts balls. He said, did you get a sewing machine yet? And I said, no, not yet. Like, or I did get it at that point, and I was like, I didn't start it. I didn't do anything yet.
Yeah.
He's like, what if we took your battle jacket thought, but we found a way to use the jerseys that we have here to recycle them into something else?
Yeah. That's sick.
Just that idea is sick, and that's why I want to make sure I give him credit, because this was literally, like, without exaggerating, probably a year and 3 days ago.
Damn, yeah.
It has not been very long since the very first thing I did happened.
Right.
So I sat down, and this was the first, like, big creative spark, because at that point, Stitch God was just me kind of taking pictures of, like, cool jerseys that I did that were either in games, or I like to, the initial thought was to chronologically show, like, I did this one for this guy, this one for that one, this was a cool sunset at Safeco. That was really what the idea was at first.
Right.
And then it transformed into, now all of a sudden I have an idea.
Yeah.
It's old jerseys. And it's this piece, and it's that piece, and it's this piece, and it's that piece. And then my brain started going crazy. So I sat there and I took pieces off of the jersey, sewed it to a jacket. We had done 3 of them. And then once I had done the second one, I was going to sleep one night. And I had a thought of, like, what if we took... Now, keep in mind, the uniform to this point of my life is very important for it to look clean and straight, and the stitching is right. And that's instilled into me by my boss. Jerry Thornton is his name. He's a legend. Taught me everything I know. The new Paul. Taught everything the new Paul knows. Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's like the most important person ever to me. I have his handwriting tattooed on the back of my head because he gave me the opportunity that changed my life.
Yeah.
Everything he instilled into me, though, was that it has to look nice. This is how it looks. This is what it is. That's it.
Yeah.
So I was literally about to fall asleep one night, and I had a vision in my head of a Mariner jersey with all of the lettering they've ever worn on it.
Yeah.
And it was in between, like, falling asleep and being asleep. And I was in that where I was kind of just seeing it. Yeah, I was kind of just seeing what it was.
Yeah.
The very next day, Simply Seattle hit me up.
Word.
I was sitting at the shop, and I get it, and my boy Joe on the Simply Seattle account hit me up, and he goes, "Yo, we like your shit." Now, at that point, Stitch God was nothing at that point at all. I was at probably 400 followers. It was nothing. It was just I was just getting kind of figuring out.
More than me.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Is all it takes is something happening.
Yeah.
So they hit me up and they go, "Oh, blah 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 blah," and I was like, "Word." I was like, I literally just had I don't want to call it a vision, but I literally had a vision just last night of a jersey that is everything.
Yeah.
Celebrating the uniform. And this also came from another conversation I had at one point. I want to make sure I give people credit.
Yeah.
My boy Kelly had thought of an idea. He called it Mariner Moments. And my first thought was a Mariner moment would be the base jersey would be a specific reason for it, and then you would celebrate the player by celebrating the full uniform.
Yeah.
Because on one jersey, it's just one lettering, one numbers, that's it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, shit, Griffey did this in this jersey, and he did this in this jersey, and he had this nameplate on it when he did this.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, this could be with anybody. Ichiro, anybody. And I was like, fuck, dude. And then I also make sure I give credit to my boy Joe over at Simply Seattle. He coined the phrase scramble jersey because we didn't know what to call it, and he referred to it as that.
I was going to say, so that's like your signature
That's my thing
though.
right now. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
The signature thing that I have is celebrating a uniform. So that could be any team, too. And that's what is the beauty of all this. So I'm saying all this is because you asked what the goal was.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it, is that every single team ever has worn several uniforms.
Super fluid. It can change.
It can change anywhere.
Yeah, different
absolutely.
ideas. Yeah.
And that's the glory of the whole thing. So I say all that to say this. As soon as we put those on simplyseattle.com, it was the first ones we did. I think we did Griffey and I think we did Ichiro. They sold in like 5 minutes.
That's wild.
And 5 minutes on Simply Seattle says a little bit, obviously, but all of a sudden it was all of these people that had no idea who I was at all.
Yep.
Because at that point, I was just a guy at the stadium that was doing jerseys on game days. That's it.
Yeah.
And that, obviously, that's the number one most important thing to me ever is that job.
Yeah.
Because of who I took over for. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jerry, I'm telling you, want to talk about another person that I could just go. And he fucking hates it because he's this kind of guy, like, I'm just, shut up. Like, but every time I see him, I'm almost just, every single time, thank you, bro. Thank you. Because, fuck, bro. Yeah. Teaching somebody that had no ability to ever do anything with their hands, ever how to sew.
Started at ground zero.
I started at ground zero, and this dude the whole way was not taking it easy on me either.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about it. There was moments where he'd be like,
it has to be.
It has to be like that because the high pressure situations I've been in at Safeco, bro, where it's like a dude. I always tell the story about Kyle Seeger. His jersey didn't fit one time. And you know who that is, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know the name. Is he a pitcher or a? No. So he's good at hitting.
Third base.
Great hitter though.
Yeah, he was a good hitter.
Big scorer.
Yeah. Gold Glover. Okay. He was. Yeah.
He's like one of our best players.
One of our best players. Yeah. Yes. He had gotten hurt. Mm-hmm. He must have lost some weight or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. I get run up the jersey, and this is like right when I'm first doing this by myself. Because the first season I wasn't by myself. Jerry was with me the whole time.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, like, the operation.
That's got to be so sketchy.
Dude, you have no idea. And it's also not even just like for player stuff. It's more of just like a regular person watching you, waiting and like anticipating, and just spent $300 and everybody's watching you doing it. And it's like Jerry taught me to be like, bro, just remember what you do.
Yeah.
Remember the measurements. Remember how it's supposed to look. Remember that it. And he always said to me. And I've said this because I started teaching people how to do jerseys at the Kraken.
Yeah.
I always say the same thing. Would you wear this? Mm-hmm. That was what Jerry always said to me.
Dude, it's crazy that this premise can apply to my job as well. So it's like obviously the stress situations are different.
Yeah.
It's the same premise though. It's like when things are going really south, you remember like your basic stuff.
Yes.
It's like put your gloves on. Park the ambulance so you're not going to get hit on the side of the freeway.
Yes.
It's like
turn the wheel in.
There's certain things that like it's like muscle memory. It's like you just have to know these things.
And he pounded that into my head, bro. So every time I got into a stressful situation, there was even a couple times last year, Rodriguez is not a short name, bro.
Yeah, for real.
And if we sew everything during a game, bro, there's not many of those I can do. There was several times last year that I called him and I'm just like, bro, it's too many. And he would just be like, bro, just take a deep breath.
One at a time.
Do as many as you can, and then everybody else can wait. And every time, bro, just because he had been doing it for, I could tell fucking stories for days about him. Yeah. He started doing it for the Mariners in like 1994, bro.
Damn.
He created, bro.
That's wild.
He created this business because he told me he wanted to be involved in sports, but he was never athletic enough. He didn't want to be an agent. How can I be involved in sports?
Yeah.
Everybody needs a uniform.
Right.
So we got the Thunderbirds first. I always get the timeline wrong.
Yeah.
But he told me his pie in the sky was always the Mariners, bro.
Yeah, word.
Always was the Mariners.
Same as you.
Same as me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that bonded us at first, because when I first moved out here, I was working in a team store, and I would just interact with him because he was upstairs there, whatever. And he told me, bro, I could get emotional just thinking about this. Mm-hmm. I had to go back. I wasn't making enough money.
Yeah.
He told me, if you want to come back, and we would just bullshit about, like, how many steps did you take in today, and what's up, Jerry, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I loved Jersey since I was a little kid, too. So I was always interested in, like, the lettering.
It's a big part of it.
Yeah. And then we would just shoot the shit. So I told him, I was like, I got to go, man. It's this girl, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to figure out that.
Yeah.
I'm not making enough money. He told me, he looked me dead in my eyes, and he said, if you want to come back, because I told him how important being in Seattle was to me. So he knew that.
Yeah.
If you want to come back, I need a guy to be the guy here. And I looked at him like, the fuck, dude? I can't sew. Yeah. I never even fucking sat behind his, outside of home ec or whatever the fuck that class was called.
Yeah.
Fax, it was called at my middle school.
Or...
I never sat behind. He said, I will teach you.
Damn.
I will show you how to be the guy.
That's an offer, bro.
Dude,
Yeah.
an offer.
What did you say? Yes?
No,
like right
not right
then?
away.
Oh
No.
my gosh.
Well,
Imagine that. Imagine not saying yes to that.
Well, bro, I was already giving up on because
Yeah.
I when I came out here again. I don't know how divulging into my life I should go, but when I first came out here, it was supposed to be with somebody else to start a life here, and I knew if I could have got in with the Mariners somehow, whether it was a team store or not,
Yeah.
I knew my personality.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that if I got in the right spot, that I could have a conversation.
Finagle it,
I just
yeah.
knew that because that's
Yeah.
just, and that's my superpower is that I know how to
100%.
talk to people.
Like nobody I know, man.
Thank
for
you,
sure.
and I
For
appreciate
sure,
that.
Yeah.
I got that from my parents, and it's the
Yeah.
most proud thing. And it's not because I'm like a swindler. It's not because I'm like a
No, yeah, your
just
intentions are like
always good.
Yeah.
Always. And I
Crazy.
want to know how your day went, and I
Yeah.
want to know what you're up to, and I want to know what you're thinking. And I always know that because I care genuinely about people.
Yeah.
I'm not a religious guy, big time anti-religious, but I do
Mm-hmm.
now believe that there in energy.
Yeah.
I do now believe in that, and whether it's for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, but I believe that if the number one thing they tell you is treat people how you want to be treated, and I've always tried to do that. I've always tried to do that. And he told me, if you want to come back, I'll teach you.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, man. All right, let me go back. I go back to Buffalo. I had talked to a dude about London. I had talked to a dude about my uncle is in Charlotte. My boy at the time was in Portland, and I had opportunities with my cousin in Florida, whatever. I could have went anywhere in the world. I got back. It was not a good situation, so I knew right away, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I waited, and I waited, and I waited. He hit me up one day, like in the middle of, it was during football season. I remember I was at a Bills game. And he goes, hey, you given any thoughts to that? Because I kind of have to have an idea about what I'm doing this season.
Yeah.
I was like, He goes, pack your clothes. I got a room for you in my house. I got a bed waiting for you. He said,
sick.
get the fuck out of that situation and come do this shit.
Who is this? This is Jerry.
Jerry motherfucking Thornton is his name.
And
Legend.
Is he still your boss?
He's
Or
still
what?
my boss, yeah. STT Sports Lettering. It's it's number one sports lettering place on the planet as far as I'm concerned.
yeah.
Number one, just because
That
of
shit
the.
gets me fired up. I don't even know shit about it.
I'm fired up just thinking about it, just
Yeah.
because I know what this fucking
Yeah.
guy puts into this.
So this dude is your idol.
He
This
is.
is like he did this. He had the same kind of vision you had.
Are you ready?
He materialized it.
My father,
Yeah.
my grandfather, Jerry Thornton,
Damn.
the most influential people
Does
in
he
my.
know this? Do you tell him this?
I told him this all the time. He does. His handwriting is tattooed on the back of my head.
Crazy. How does he feel about that?
He's the kind of guy, like I said, he's the kind of guy that
Doesn't
is
like
like,
the attention.
Come on,
Yeah,
leave me
yeah.
alone, like fuck you, like whatever.
Huh.
But I hope that in his heart he knows that he changed someone's life.
Yeah. That's huge.
Because again, I don't want to divulge into my
Yeah,
life
yeah.
too much, but I was not
what you
living.
gotta do.
I was not living a very good life.
Yeah.
Before I mean, I'm still not very like a healthy guy, but I wasn't living a very good life.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, to take the chance on somebody that you just had conversations with, and really just because he had told me he needs somebody that could be good with customers, that can handle problems, that could deal with, and I'm just like, bro.
Yep.
And I learned how to do all that while
That's
my
so cool.
heart was destroyed.
Yep.
And I wasn't around my family anymore. And point is this, I came out here and everything he told me he did it all. He showed me and he said that you got to take this shit seriously.
Yeah.
You got to really like hone in on like how important it is, and then it was just drilled into my head. And I learned how to heat a jersey at Safeco Field in the middle of games, and he put me in a situation where all of a sudden I was like, all of this spins back around. This jacket I'm wearing right now, I had put together before I moved out here. I've had this for probably 10 years now.
Damn.
And I always kind of was like,
Yeah.
I always had a thing for jerseys. I always had a thing for hats. I always had a thing for that.
Right.
And now this dude just taught me how to take all of that and boom. So the end goal,
Jerry's the GOAT.
he's the dude. Seattle sports icon.
So what's your goal? Because there's something that I'm hearing that I think would be great for you. I don't know if you've ever thought about it.
Well, I've had a couple goals. If I'm going to be very honest with you, my personal goal would be to go back to school someday to become a therapist. That would be my number one
Huge
personal.
left turn.
Yeah, big
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Yeah. If I were going to do anything in my life and set it as a goal, because, like, bro, I set an insane goal. I wrote fucking papers about it when I was in, like, 7th grade. I wrote, I want to work for the Mariners someday, and I set bro, and this is the best part.
So sick.
It is everybody in my life told me, fuck, are you Seattle? What?
Yeah.
Fuck. I dropped out of high school, and I told my dad, I'll be in Seattle in 5 years. I don't know how. I don't know where. I don't know when.
Nothing better than when people say their 5-year plan. They're doing it. Nothing better.
And I don't know anybody else that ever did.
It's really rare, dude. It's super rare.
And it's not only that it's rare. It's that I'm not an organized guy. I'm not a guy with a plan.
Yeah.
I swear to you that I was a guy that wanted this so badly in a weird way that I packed my van and I moved to all the way across the country into a house with 5 complete strangers that I did not know.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Went to work by taking public transit for the first time in my life by myself. Now, I got to emphasize that. Yeah. By myself. Mm-hmm. I wasn't with anybody here. I didn't have any homies. I mean, I consider you a good friend now.
Yeah. 100%.
But do I got 25 that'll go to war for me here?
I've got 3.
But my point is...
And I've been here my whole life.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. And that's the craziest thing about it. I was out here by myself. And to go do that, that was a big, high goal. So my next true goal, I'm going to set that really fucking high. That I would love to maybe...
That's massive.
It is, dude. But it's something It's something that's always been something that I've loved.
Yeah.
I've always been the guy people talk to when they have
I don't think your job here is done. You know what I mean? So I think you've got... I don't sense the same passion yet. Yeah. I think you'll get to the point where you've sewn your 12,000th jersey or 120,000th or whatever.
It's a lot.
You know, I don't know what you're already at. You're probably already there.
It's a lot, bro.
It's
Julio Rodriguez. It's a lot.
Yeah. See, and I don't even know who that is.
Oh, fuck. You're going to know.
Now that we're closer, like, you got to take me to some fucking games.
Don't you worry. You're going to know who Julio... The world will know who Julio Rodriguez is. That's my boy, too, by the way.
And we'll do another one, like, because I don't know how many... The first episode, 64 views, whatever. I don't know
worry
what this...
about views.
You're right. Believe me, Jade already fucking mentally beat my ass about this. I'm with you. The point that I guess I'm making is, like, I don't know... Maybe there'll be a lot of people that want you to talk about sports a lot, and I'm down to learn about it. But maybe people are like, "Fuck sports."
It could be fun, but here's the thing that I love about this is that That's why I tried to emphasize, especially like on a lot of things, that every time I post something, there's different music involved. Like, there's more things important to me than sports. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I had the mission statement of not if, when. The backbone of what Stitch God is that this jersey is one of one.
Yeah.
Be one of one.
Yep.
It's got nothing to do with sports at the end of the day. It's got everything to do with you being a person that is wearing a jersey that's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
There's no cookie cutter way. And
right.
it really kind of evolved from, like I said, Jerry had pounded these it's got to be this way, got to be this way, got to be this way. And it's like the opposite of what's right.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always lived my life that way. So it's like kind of like an extension of me.
It's a good fit, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I think when you were just talking then about how this guy's your mentor, took you under his wing, risked a lot on a random kid, right?
A lot.
I'm starting to like sort of see in the way that you're saying this, I'm sort of seeing like a movie almost being made where that's got to be you someday. You've got to be that guy to someone. I mean, how fulfilling would that be?
And I'll tell you what. I've always told my dad. My dad is number one to me.
Yeah.
Everything I am is because of my dad.
Yeah.
I've always told him that the only way I could ever repay him for what he has done for me, whether it's wisdom or money or talking to me when I've been this close to not being here anymore, the only way I could ever repay him is to, if I have a son one day, give him those same opportunities.
Yeah.
To learn on his own, to, if you need help, I got you. And I have goosebumps saying this. It's the only way that I could ever. And you're right. That's the only way I could ever do justice to Jerry is to make sure that somehow, in some way, I help somebody else.
Pay it forward.
Yeah. Change their life. And whether it's...
It'd be sick.
Yeah.
I can see it now. I think you'd do great at it, yeah.
It changed... I mean, bro, learning how to be in a sewing machine, bro, and that's just... It's not easy to do that. And it's not
so
easy
random, bro.
Yeah, it really is.
It's the most random. That's why the premise of this podcast is like, I want people that do How many people have you ever watched talk about sewing jerseys?
Never.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Never ever.
That's what I'm saying. How many Royal Guardsmen from the UK Royal Army have you ever heard
None.
interviewed? Right. So that's guest number. Here's the sheet on that.
Oh, shit.
He's coming soon. So
there you go.
It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to do is like I want like y'all have the best stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
bro.
That's what we got to talk about, that kind of stuff. But I want to sort of change things up.
Go ahead.
And I want to have a little bit of fun before we wrap this all up. So this killed me when I started talking to you about, you got to be on this episode and, entertaining type stuff. And you're like, man, there's so much that you don't know about me. He's like, I've lived this crazy life. I've been through so much, like the stuff that I've done. He was like, I've been on Jerry Springer. I used to host ciphers. My number one best accomplishment.
Yeah.
I used to hold these ciphers, and they were so important to me. And I'm like, oh, what? And he sends me all these links.
Yeah.
Bro, I want to watch it here, but we've already watched it, and I think what I'll do actually is I'll like just edit the clip into the podcast so people can watch it.
But
see
the whole thing. Yeah.
This clip that I'm gonna show you here somewhere is
We're gonna watch it right now.
so funny. Do you want to?
Yeah,
we can watch it and talk about it, but I want a better because it's not great quality.
Well, yeah, we're
talking about what year was this? So give me like a little bit of backstory. How do you find yourself in a Jerry Springer episode?
So,
how do I even say that, right? It's like, what do you search?
it's my boy. So Jerry Springer audience confrontation.
Oh yeah,
And
that it was.
well, bro, if I really truly sit and think about it, I don't remember what sparked.
Where was this filmed? What year was
Connecticut.
this? Okay.
That's in Connecticut.
Okay.
And they do that.
It's getting weirder and
It's
weirder.
the only thing in Connecticut that I saw. But
Yeah.
It was just a really random thing, and it was my boy Randy that brought it up at first. And
Jerry Springer gay show.
yeah, see, Jerry Springer's done it all. He ran out of thing. You got to do audience confrontation for it to come up.
All right, keep going then.
So
So how did you get to Jerry Springer?
we drove. It was
We?
me.
Okay.
It was me, my boy Randy, my boy Jack, and my boy Ryan.
Okay, and you guys talked on the phone. You're like, what would be cool? Let's just go watch a live taping of Jerry Springer.
Oh, I think that we were at. See, I could misremember this whole thing.
Well, that's okay.
It's a long time ago. This is like 2011. It had to be like 2011. I remember I was working at a pizzeria at the time, and I don't remember where how the conversation started, but
Yeah.
I think it was my boy Randy brought it up. He's like, "Yo, we should go. The tickets are free. We just have to go." And I
Oh,
was
it's
like,
free. Okay.
Yeah, they don't charge you from.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like a lineup thing where you got to line up and you got to get in before they like run. They like fill it.
Crazy.
So like if it's 200 seats, the first 200 people in line would get in.
Yeah.
So because we came from a far different. Yeah. So that'll be over here. Yeah. There it is.
Oh boy.
Boom.
All right. So keep going before.
Because we came from a distance, we had to like I don't remember if you like pre-ordered something.
Like register or something.
Yeah, something happened where they knew that we were from far away, so we got bumped up in the line to make sure that we got into the show. It was 4 of us, and we were drinking a little bit beforehand. I remember we had taken some Xanax. I remember that we smoked K2, which is that synthetic weed.
Do we want all this in here? Is this fine?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, absolutely,
Word.
absolutely. Xanax saved my life. I'll be the first one to say that.
Sure,
So I have
yeah.
nothing against.
K2's not good though.
K2 is
Don't
really
do
bad.
that.
This
Don't
is
do that.
2011 though, dude. You got to remember, this is 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So we just like many things, we didn't really know what it was yet. And
Sure.
I remember being in the bed of the pickup truck we were in, dude. And it was just smoking or whatever. We get in. So it was 4 of us that walked in, and then we got split. So 2 of my boys are on one side of the room, and me and my boy Ryan were on the other side of the room, and we were sitting next to each other. So we get in, and we sit down, and it's just a rambling show, but they tell us ahead of time, unless something fucking sweet happens here, this show is probably not going to be on. Don't expect it to be. We only put the entertaining ones on. And what hasn't Jerry Springer done? So the whole show goes by, and I remember sitting there, and this dude was talking, bro. And I had never, now again, I'm very respectful of people. I really am. The way this dude was talking,
This dude being the person in the audience.
Yeah, no, the dude on the show.
Or that's that's what I meant. Sorry.
The way he was talking.
Yeah.
He was telling his girl, "Oh, you're a fucking cunt. You should have swallowed our kids. You're the fucking blah blah."
Jesus.
And now, bro, listen, that's not. You don't.
Nah, can't do that.
I mean, you really got to be on a different level type of person to not. People say things. Of
Do you think this was like the dude's on the show and he's trying to be entertaining, or do you think this dude's like a piece of?
I think
shit?
he was just a huge piece of shit.
Yikes.
And I really, in that moment, felt like this girl and this dude are not living out a weird, funny Jerry Springer thing. Like, this girl really might have real problems with this dude.
Damn.
And I just remember feeling like, fuck that dude, yo. But I was also a little tuned up, so I was like, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
So I'll lead up to you hitting play here so we can watch this together.
Mm-hmm.
Comes to be the time where it's the show is over, everybody's on the stage. And
I have a question for the big fat bitch on the stage.
Exactly. So it was a bunch of that and fuck you. Let me show you my titties, all that.
Shit was so crazy.
Wild. It was a wild show.
I'd stay home sick from school and I'd just watch that all day.
And that, bro, and that's the funniest thing too.
Daytime TV,
I have
baby.
been noticed from it. I swear to God, bro, and
So
it's weird.
fire.
And it was just like a few random people, but like
This is 9 years ago.
this was uploaded 9 years ago.
2,100 views.
This happened 12 years ago at least.
Okay.
So it comes time for the commercial, or the question part, and my boy next to me, he was our barber. He's like I can't explain this dude. He's just one of those kind of guys that like if you need something fixed, he can fix it. He'll figure out a way. He's
Just a resourceful dude.
the man.
Yeah.
One of my oldest friends, one of my great friends, Ryan Franklin, legend.
Shout out Ryan.
I'll tell you why that was funny when we're not filming this.
Yeah.
By the way.
I got you.
So, he starts waving $100 bill.
Wow.
And Jerry Springer's walking around, and then he comes up to us, and then this is when it happened. So, I was just like mad, like offended by this dude. I really was hurt badly by this dude.
I'm going to take one of your ass.
Go ahead so you can hear it.
Yo, I got a comment for
You could kind of tell I'm all fucked up.
Yo, where I'm from, if you talk like a female, talk to a female.
I said talk like a female,
bro.
which is hilarious.
I will.
But look at
this
fuck-
dude.
Look at him. And right there, I was just like, yeah, okay.
He said, come down here and do it then.
So he said, come down here and do it. But the part right there where I'm laughing before I start going to pause this real quick.
Yeah.
Before I start going down the stairs, Jerry Springer in my ear, with not being on camera, goes, get his ass. And I was just like, yo, what the fuck? And the funny thing about this is every person, and this is just how my life has been. It's just weird how things happen. But everybody, I was like, yeah, we're going to Jerry Springer. We're going to try to whatever. Every person was like, yo, you got to get on somehow. You got to. And I'm just like, like, how the fuck am I going to do that?
Yeah, right.
There's no way. I've done some crazy shit in my life, but how the fuck am I going to do that?
Right.
And all of a sudden, bro, it actually happens where
wild.
now I'm involved.
Yeah.
And this is the crazy part right here. They don't show the whole thing.
So security's like holding you guys back.
Yeah, they don't
they're
show
like
the-
they're like smirking.
Yeah, because they know.
Yeah.
But I tried to get around the dude at one point, and then I was just like, bro, she looks better than everybody up here. Like, I don't know what you were talking, but...
Bro, because you don't talk about female like that. She looks better than all these
And I mean, she kind of was all right, whatever, but to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
with this dude, and then he was just saying ridiculous things to me, bro.
Yeah.
But at the end of that, it was mad legendary because I was, again, just like, bro, think about a moment like that and knowing that you're like on TV and that's the kind of shit that was happening.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck, dude, no way. Like, this is crazy.
So crazy.
And then they swing the camera in front of me at the end of it, and they go, you had the comments of the show. Take us to our final break. So then I had to read off a teleprompter, and it said, stay tuned for Jerry's final thought.
Yeah.
And, like, bro, it was like, to say that I got the Jerry.
Yeah, get us.
I got that started at one point for real in my life.
That's
it's
sick.
just hilarious
That's
to
so
even.
cool.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's just like, you don't run into.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't run
right.
into that story often.
You don't run
know?
into that guy very often
Yeah.
that did that. Yeah, so that's the thing, man. It's like you have a little bit of everything. So then there's ciphers.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to think, like, I don't know anything about Buffalo.
Yeah.
Nothing. They got, what, wings? Yeah.
Yes.
Clark said, hey, if he starts talking about pizza, shut him down. Shut
Okay,
him down
First
fast.
of all, you
He
tell
said he can talk about wings. He can't talk about pizza.
Okay, Clark is wrong. First of all, the best pizza in the world.
I
is
need to get both of y'all on here to just go.
The best pizza in the world is in Buffalo, New York, by far, by far. Because, bro, the New York.
He's got to disagree with that.
The New York. How many times has he been to Buffalo, and how many spots has he been to? I've been to several spots in New York
This
City.
man used to tour with Motley Crue.
Oh man.
Like legit. He's going to be on, man.
You need to have me sitting right next to him.
He's going to be on.
I will talk to Clark about music forever.
Yeah.
Especially what he's. I mean, you too. We could sit here for hours and just talk about.
I mean, artists I've seen, things that have happened to show.
Fuck.
And I'm going to talk a lot about shows.
Bro, I want to do that too. Like I was telling you before,
You'll be here, man.
I keep all my ticket stubs in a binder, bro, and you would be disgusted by it. It's disgusting. Yeah. And that's just since they have recently stopped doing tickets where they print them out or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we still do them at our venue.
Bro, it's crazy because
you can get them.
There's hundreds that I have not added to it, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like even when I just saw System of a Down and Korn. Anyway.
When I think about how I've worked, like an average of 5 shows a week.
Yeah.
For 4 shows a week for 8 years.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
Nuts.
Awesome.
It's I don't know how the
so
math
I was
on that right now,
so happy that there was an opportunity for me to get in on that.
100%.
I mean, I just to be around.
I told you, man. I was like, you got to get in here.
Oh, just to be around it, bro.
Yeah.
It's been an incredible experience.
Yeah.
But Buffalo is known for wings. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Buffalo is known for.
More for sauce, though, right? I mean, but like the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise, it's based on sauce. It's not based on we have the best chickens, right? Like. It's based on what goes on them.
No. So here's where the misconception of a chicken wing is. Yes, it's got a lot to do with the sauce, of course. Mm-hmm. But it has a lot more to do with the size of the wing and the way that it's cooked.
That's what she said.
Hey, now. So,
yeah.
That's where people fuck it up here and everywhere else. You need a good size. You need 1, 2, maybe 3 bites off of one wing. That's a solid chicken wing for sure.
Hot take.
It's not a hot take. I'm telling you, you've never had a chicken wing till you have one in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. Well,
I guarantee you that.
Yeah, I haven't. So
Kelly's Corner, #1, Bar Bill is up there. Good bar. And I'm naming bars to you.
Yeah.
A hole-in-the-wall bar you would drive past here has better chicken wings in it in Buffalo than anywhere else on the planet.
That's how it is with all shit, though.
For sure.
I mean, yeah, hole-in-the-wall bars are so underrated.
So the Wild Wings idea, and I don't call it Buffalo Wild Wings because it's an insult to my city. Wild Wings, the concept is there. It's close, but it's inconsistent because it's spread across whatever. But they are the closest to it that you will get. And here, I hate to say this, here, the best wings I've had are pre-prepared at Walmart.
Oh, no.
And at Applebee's. And that's
Wild.
a direct insult to the entire state of Washington. It's consistent because it's
that shit's microwave, bro.
So what? It tastes better than every wing that I've had anywhere else here, and that's crazy to say.
Right. So Buffalo.
Yeah.
So I got off topic. My bad.
My fault.
No,
yes,
my bad.
Known for chicken wings, yes.
You guys do ciphers there.
Yeah. So that wasn't a.
What's a cipher?
So
I know.
Yeah.
But I want people to know. I want you.
Well, there's the true definition of it. I don't know, but the way I interpret what a cipher is
what's a cipher to you?
It was probably created by people that were really into rap that circled around each other, and there was 2 guys that could rap and 3 guys that could rap, and somebody would play a beat, and they'd all kind of bounce off of each other, and it was like a camaraderie thing, I'm sure, at first. And again, I don't know the full history of it, but what inspired me to come up with that is when they did the BET ciphers. I thought it was a really dope idea that it was like the way that they filmed it, and that they had an emphasis on the DJ, they had an emphasis on the artist, they had an emphasis on a specific thing. Now when I say a specific thing, what stood out the most in the BET ones is that the Sprite bottle that would be sitting on the DJ table was green. Everything else was black and white.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like that is a really dope advertisement kind of thing. And my boy had a clothing line at the time, Cretaceous Clothing.
Cretaceous.
His name is Zach.
I feel like was that what the ciphers were uploaded on or something? Okay.
Cretaceous Sunday
I remember
Ciphers
seeing
what it ended
that.
up being called. Yep. So the first idea that I came to my boy, and it's 2 of my friends that were basically one of them thought of it, and one of them became a partner with him on it. and it started when we were in high school. My boy Zach and then my other boy Goose got involved, and they had a storefront. Goose, yeah, that's my brother.
Hell
Goose,
yeah.
yeah. Both of these guys are my brothers. The original thought was they had a storefront, and I had the idea that why don't we get a couple of guys that we know that can rap, come down here, we get somebody that can DJ, that can like scratch records and stuff.
Yeah.
And we have everybody wearing a Cretaceous shirt, and it's just a long form commercial.
Yeah.
We film it. We get a couple of guys rapping. Maybe we have some drinks. We're just having ourselves a nice time, and then we'll record it, we'll edit it, we'll do whatever, and we'll turn it into a long-form commercial.
Yep.
So that was the first one that we did, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, like watching them. I mean, we'll either put like the link for them in here or
You should
something,
definitely
or
put
maybe
the
like clips or something.
Yeah.
But
New York motherfucker, I'm the best from my sector. She sucking on my sneaker like she trying to find my nectar. So I told her to put buzz off.
the vibes were crazy. Like,
Bro.
it's so packed in there.
And
like,
had to have
gotten hotter than fuck.
So what? Well, at Buffalo in the wintertime, it doesn't get cold. And we were keeping ourselves warm at that point. But what happened was the second one was really fun, and the third one was really fun, and then by the fourth one, there was all these guys in Buffalo. Cause when I say I DJ'd, I didn't DJ. I was a karaoke DJ that could play some little cool shit in between songs, and I've always loved music, so I've had like an ear for it, whatever. So I didn't know any of these dudes in Buffalo rapping existed until all of a sudden we were doing something, and now everybody's like, hey, I want to be a part of that too. I want to do that too. And then we started meeting all these cool dudes that were all rapping, and all were like, bro, not rapping like hard, and my boy Tony Boy said it the best, hard bars, bro. Like people, like dudes that could really rap were just right here. They were right here, and we were like, fuck, dude, let's try to figure something out here. So the fourth one we did, it was a full house in the store. Mm-hmm. There were so many people in there, bro. Everybody was drinking, having a good time, rapping. Everybody would hop on a different beat. And at first we were only using beats that were from producers in Buffalo.
Word.
And rappers that were from Buffalo. That was the original premise.
Yeah, I mean, that's
everything
cool.
is Buffalo.
Little, like spotlight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By the time we did the fourth one, bro, when we started thinking of the fifth one, we were like, we have to somehow restrict this because there's like too many people coming in here. And then we ended up collaborating with this dude who was like crazy ill with like camera editing, Mouse Media. Mm-hmm. He's a legend too, my boy Mouse. And then we got an audio guy, a dude that I went to high school with too. Like he was like involved. Jamie Catania is his name. He would like mix the audio, and people would be holding their microphone like this and shit, and he made it all sound great.
Damn.
And all of a sudden, these pieces were coming together. Where we had a sound guy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it all of a sudden turned into this thing, and the news was there the one time, and then we were like, on the fifth one, we're like, bro, this is it.
The news was there, bro?
We had the news there. We had different camera angles, but the format then changed.
That's crazy.
Where you would send the beat, where you would send you rapping to us. We would sit there, and we would listen to it. We invited people to it, but then the concept changed.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, now, when you walk up, your beat's going to be different than the last guy's beat. So when you walk up, you don't know what you're rapping to yet. And that was the first time when we got it all on film. It's round 5.
Round 5.
And the concept kind of changed where like all of a sudden now it's going to really be like who's rapping the hardest instead of a commercial. Now who is the guy in Buffalo that can rap? And there was a dude kind of like getting a little bit of buzz at the time by the name of Westside Gun. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking, like, we are on the verge here as a group. And I always visualized it like all these people involved in all this whole little culture that we have here. Mm-hmm. Everybody should be thinking the same common goal. Let's somebody get signed out of Buffalo.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's all do this together. And then we started thinking about it like, bro, all right. Now all of a sudden it could turn into this whole new thing where we find guys that are cool and we back them and we could do whatever. So then the plan started
your own
evolving.
little label or something.
Exactly,
yeah.
and the plan started evolving.
Right.
By the time we did round 6, we had over 150 people, over almost 250 people at the one.
In like a little store.
No. We had to move out of the store because there was
right.
too many
Okay.
people, and then we had to go to like an actual venue, bro.
Damn.
And we had the hip hop station DJs were secretly in the crowd as voters that were deciding who was gonna win.
Yeah.
And I remember that this dude Westside Gun, he had flown up from Atlanta to come watch it.
Oh shit.
Now here's the thing with Westside Gun. At the time, I wasn't very hip with what he was doing.
Yeah.
I was not in tune fully with what
like
he was.
Atlanta rap. Yeah.
Well, no, he's from Buffalo. He moved to Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
This fucking guy is like a legend in Buffalo now, Griselda Records,
Damn.
because he was the guy that ended up doing it. He got noticed by a bunch of people because of his rapping style. They started playing him here.
Is this the dude with the braids? You sent me like the music video where
No,
he's like in the long trench coat.
That's Bill Saber. That's a different guy.
He's sick, too.
He's fucking sick too,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you a great
Damn.
story about him too. But what Westside Gunn did is he had another dude. He had Conway the Machine, and he had Benny the Butcher, and then these guys were like
Benny the Butcher.
these
He's came
guys. Yes, and these
He's
guys
came through the music venue.
Yes, sir. And now you probably saw how many people were there.
Lots.
There was a lot of people because
Yeah.
they got noticed, and then one signed with Eminem, and then the other
Yeah.
one signed with Jay-Z, Rock Nation,
Yeah,
or whatever it was.
Rockefeller Records or something?
Rock Nation, I think they call it now.
Okay.
Point is this is 2015 that this happened, or maybe 2014. So they got signed after that. So what we set out to do happened that we had nothing to do with it, but point is he came to support us.
Yeah.
And support all these guys that he knew that could rap in Buffalo that weren't getting the right kind of shine. And there was another dude that was involved in that, Kadir Latif. He was signed to Rough Riders at one point, and we were doing this thing where it was like everybody's coming together, and it's like this is fucking.
That's sick.
And it was all based around music and a good time and bars and not fucking insulting people.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a battle rap thing.
Yeah.
It was like let's see who can rap
It's
the
like
hardest.
everybody's being constructive with each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
And it
everybody's
wasn't-
gassing each other up and stuff.
Exactly, bro. And it became like a huge networking thing where a lot of people were able to like meet other people that were thinking the same way as they were. And we had live art happening. Both of the paintings that my boy Mark Madden did, who tattooed most of my body,
Damn.
both the paintings he did live at those events, the last two that we did, are
Well,
hanging
that's a fire
in my house.
idea.
Stitch God Fest. It's already been thought of.
Yeah.
It's
that's
gonna
sick.
happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'd love to be a part of that in some way.
I don't know how it could happen here. I would love to recreate,
Yeah.
and it would be
I'm sure there's something. So here they have something called Toe Jam. Have you heard of it?
No, because I haven't been involved in that.
We can get you
since I've been
involved.
here.
So Nico and Clark are like really big. So we do like private security for
Yeah.
them. And I did one recently. Now, I'll tell you, it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's their thing, but it's something that you could kind of poke your head into and be
Yeah.
like, word, like maybe learn some stuff.
It will in a perfect world. What I would
It's a
like.
very similar vibe.
Yeah.
Like it's a bunch of like kids. There's a rapper in the area, Lil Mosey. So he, I think he's from like Shoreline or somewhere up north.
Yeah.
He's famous
Yeah,
as
I've heard the
fuck.
name.
He's huge.
Yeah.
He's huge now, and he's like 19 now. When he came through headlining one of our bigger venue, this was like 4 years ago. He's 16.
That's insane.
Like he's a junior in high school.
That's insane.
So the whole high school pulled up. Obviously, like this is
Yeah.
his hometown. Huge. His entourage, I didn't have a great experience with. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't say I'm like a huge Mosey fan.
Yeah.
But I will tell you there was a beautiful moment between him and his grandmother. He's a humble kid. It seems like he's a
Yeah.
respectful kid. I think he's really good at rap. Like I think he's skilled.
Yeah.
Especially for being young. But he came up. If somebody catches me being wrong here, let me know. But I believe he came up in the Toe Jam thing. I know that he hosted a Toe Jam at our smaller venue, and that was kind of the peak of their to fill up or almost fill up
Yeah.
that smaller venue. That's
Yeah.
1,200 people.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. And I remember, man, like there was a couch, there was a TV set up, an old timey TV with an N64, Nintendo 64, and they're sitting there playing it while the people are rapping in front of them.
Yeah.
Like it was just so crazy. Like
Yeah.
it was too chill.
So that's kind of what our event was like, where it was
Yeah.
really just like you're coming through and you're going to be watching like something that you could maybe have seen on a corner in New York City
Yeah.
in 1986. You know what I mean? And that was really what the idea was. But then what my thought here would be would to be recreate that idea with some rappers from
I think you
Seattle,
could.
with some dudes from Buffalo.
There's talent.
You
gotta look for it. But
I'm in over my head already.
Yeah.
With what I got going
right.
on. But
what I want to do someday, I've got a couple little music connections, nothing like huge to flex. And I don't know if these people would even do it, but there's a couple people that are local artists that are very famous now that I've talked to about this. That you know how people are though. It's like, oh, sick, bro, I'm super down, and then it's like, hey man,
Seattle
you down?
Freeze.
Left on scene.
Seattle Freeze.
Right. So it's that kind of vibe. But as soon as things start to grow, that's when they're like, oh. I'm interested. You're like, yeah, okay. You weren't before.
Trust me.
And there's just it's hard. Like, do you give them that chance at that point, or?
There is one specific situation in my life.
Yeah.
That I will not say,
Mm-hmm.
but I have one situation in my life that if some people come knocking on my door, when this shit gets where I want it to be, then I'm gonna be like, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is a huge power play. Like, it feels good.
I wouldn't even look at it as a power play. It would be more of just like I'm the kind of person that remembers that I forget who I saw talking about it. It might have been Derek Jeter, who I'm a big time Yankee hater. But
yeah. Well, and I know him. I know that name.
Derek Jeter, and now that I'm in this mindset of like what Stitch God is becoming, I'm hearing LeBron talk and Kobe talk and Jeter and Tiger Woods, and I never understood the obsession with being very good at something.
Yeah.
I never understood that until
like that Jordan type of like
where you're just like you're not going to sleep, and it's happened to me, bro. Where I was texting you what time the other day?
Yeah, you were 2 o'clock.
It was like 2 or 3 in the morning.
You're like, bro, I'm coming alive.
I will not go to sleep until what I'm thinking is done.
Yeah.
Or at least begun. And my girl has me doing shit too where I'll leave it and I won't come back to it. And I'll just leave it until something else comes to me. But
right.
Derek Jeter was talking about how he remembers people, specific people that said certain things about him at a certain time. And that resonates with me so crazy, bro, because there are so many people.
All that chip on the shoulder.
No, for sure. But like he's also the kind of dude that would never say exactly who said it either. Mm-hmm. So they know that he knows. And it was that documentary that they just did about him. He was talking about, and that spoke to me because there are so many people that told me that I wasn't gonna do shit because I was a bad kid. I was a kid that I didn't like school. I didn't like rules. I still don't like rules.
Yeah.
You'll notice. Now that we work together and I work for you, you will notice I do not know how to be on time. I don't.
I'm not very good at that shit.
I'm not on time, bro. Yeah. And I'm just one of those kind of people that I've always kind of just bumped. And now looking at it, it seems like it's like narcissistic to just not care that like everything's kind of like, but it makes it revolved around you. But my brain just works where like I'll kind of get like I'll get there, you know what I mean? Like, I just am not going to, but there was mad people that took that when I was a kid into, like, you're just not going to be anything.
Yeah.
Bro. And I saw everybody around me as I got older, and I saw these guys in bars, and as much as I took from them, I didn't want to be that.
Yeah.
Really badly, like, very badly. I didn't want to be, my parents, I love them both.
Yeah.
I really do. I didn't want to have the easy.
Yeah.
Get the house down the street.
White picket fence.
My brother is like that.
Yeah.
My brother, Sean Buckets. Love the kid to death. He's I have siblings. They're twins. Pudgelin and Sean Berkeley.
You said Pudgelin?
I've called her that since she was a little kid.
Okay.
Pudgelin.
Like, damn, that's a real name, bro.
Yeah, Pudgelin, yeah. Well, Sean Berkeley, and that's a whole other thing. I'm a nickname guy.
Yeah.
I haven't called my brother by the name that's on his birth certificate in 20... How old am I now? 32?
Wait, and what do you call him?
Sean Berkeley.
Sean Berkeley?
Berkeley, yeah.
Okay.
Sean Buckets, he's got mad different nicknames. It's just never what his name is, ever.
That's cool.
So my own family will say, oh, have you talked to Ryan, blah, blah, blah? And I go, who? Every single time. That's the kind of person that I am.
Yeah.
So when I get to where I would like to be, what?
Tilt this thing up, like so it's straight up. There you go.
Like
It's a weird style mic where like it's on the
more
side.
Talking. Oh, then I've been talking like this the whole time.
Not the whole time. It's fine. Can you hear the difference?
Yeah, I can for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
I hope that doesn't fuck your audio.
No. It'll be the thing is with this is like it's not professional. It's not marketed as like professional.
So it shouldn't sound good?
I don't have a sound engineer. No, like I'll make it sound good. I've done the research to like do it in post if I can.
Yeah.
But if I can't, I don't give a shit, dude.
Yeah.
Your car ride's gonna suck.
Yeah,
your
doubt.
trip to work, you're gonna be like, God, this sound is terrible.
But
it's okay. We're gonna have you back.
That's even better.
This episode already is gonna be way better than the first one.
Why?
Because I'm listening.
Learning? Oh, you're
yeah,
listening.
I've one of the biggest things. I mean, I made this list. I've got this list down here that's got 3 topics: a first break, reset cameras, check audio, insert an ad. 4 topics, second break. Right? Like I did that
we
after
hit
the
any
first
of the
one.
topics?
Yeah, almost all of them. And that's what I'm saying is like I'm learning. Like I'm able to carry on a conversation that's still entertaining. You're also like a huge plug with like. You're the perfect audio, like you're the perfect interviewee because you're so eloquent. Like you can speak, like you're very great at speaking.
Thank you.
Yeah, and like I was so nervous the first couple times, like the cameras and shit really like they'll make me nervous. So
did you notice I haven't looked at them ever?
Yeah.
Because the only way to ever do something like this is to act
hone
like
in.
that we're just talking. And you want to know what's
just the boys.
That's why I told you I didn't listen to the last
Couple
one.
of boys being dudes.
Me and you are now just 2 boys and 2 dudes having a conversation because at the end of the day, we know some stuff about each other. We don't know anything about each other at all, really, at the end of the day.
That's the thing. People don't realize, dude, like I was telling Jade, and this was actually made credit where credit's due. This was a point that was made by Theo Vaughn. He's one of my favorite comedians. Pretty much of the reason I'm doing podcasts. And I wish I could be as funny as him, but I can't. So
you could be if you wanted.
Well,
if you tried.
I don't know. You'll have to watch him. He's got a special kind of gift. Anyway, so he was on Joe Rogan. Thanks, dude. He was on Joe Rogan, and he made the point of like, bro, think about talking to someone for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like how many times have you done that in your life? It's very rare. You maybe more.
Thousands and
really?
thousands and thousands.
That's dope.
Of times.
That's a good
My
way to
whole
be.
life.
That's why you're so good at talking, I think. Most people though, like don't have 3 hour straight conversations very often, if ever. Like 30 minutes for sure, 45 minutes outside a campfire for an hour, 2 hours, whatever. But 3-4 hours of like directed conversation.
Some of the best times in my life, dude, have been like in a garage or fucking
holding the beer for 2 hours.
I'm telling you, bro. My garage used to be that back in the day. Where my house was always the spot where people would come hang at.
It doesn't look like it now, but like last night there were 12 people here.
I wish
I mean,
I
like
came.
there's 20 people here. Sometimes we've got that table, like we got Rage Cage going, we got beer pong, we've got a foosball table.
Well, next time I'll be here for sure because I was
like New Year's, 4th of July, all the parties we throw down. Yeah. We have a buddy, shout out Jacob Reiki. We have a boy who just goes ham on the fireworks shows. It's nuts. I actually have a video.
People love doing the fireworks stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy money. Okay, last topic,
Go ahead.
and then we'll wrap it up because we're gonna have you on more. So we're not tripping about that. So
I don't get in trouble for anything I said on this one too.
We'll leave that in as a disclaimer.
Yeah,
it's
just in case.
It's just I'll try and if I can, I'll save it and like let you watch it or whatever. But and I'll actually reset that video real quick too because this is gonna be like at least a 10-minute topic. And I think it's a good one.
I'll wait. It's with the headphones and everything. I don't know. I'm very happy about all that.
Yeah, it seems professional.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, man.
It does seem professional.
You know how we do it
That
out
could
here.
also be why it's been mad smooth because it's just comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even cold anymore.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've had this heater cranking. I was trying to be ready, man. I'm trying to be paying attention.
I'm not even trying to say that I didn't think that you would be ready. My point is that this is taking it kind of serious. So let's fucking go.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Let's go.
And Jade, he's like on the first episode, he's like, you don't have to like pander to people. You don't have to do this. The point, like, I'm with you guys. I'm with you. I gotta build an audience though.
No, you
like
don't.
Don't
think about that at all. Just do your thing and it'll happen.
I gotta really get over that then because everybody's with me.
Okay, before you ask me the last question, I want to take off that. A year ago, I had 400 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right now, I probably am close to 2,700 a year later.
It's crazy.
And it's all people that are interactive with what I do. It's names that I remember seeing several times. Mm-hmm. It's people sharing it that I remember seeing several times. And it's all because I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
And every time, even on the last couple things I've done that haven't sold right away, I just keep doing it.
Right.
Because the more you have for people to look at, the more, bro. And it's one of those things where, like, just like I was telling you before, like a year from now, if people are like, well, what did he say at this point? What was he thinking at this point? How did this evolve? Like, just keep thinking that it's all gonna be practice.
Yeah.
Until
well,
the
I'm
time
definitely
comes.
getting. Yeah, you're right. I'm definitely getting better. People will notice.
Yeah.
The other thing is like people got to think that was my best friend. Like that
Yeah.
we're fucking chopping it up, but
Yeah.
we're like arguing. We're cussing a lot.
Yeah.
My mom was like, "It was good, but I think you cussed a little too much." I'm like, you got to
Even-
think like that's my best friend. We're
Yeah.
nervous as fuck. We've been drinking.
I talk
like
when I.
yeah.
Fuck is like a word that I say like the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's how I feel.
Yeah.
So I'm.
All right, let's turn.
Go
So
ahead.
turn that. There's a little like white number, like BM 800, I think.
Yeah.
Turn that to where that's like facing your mouth. There you go. Now talk into it.
Yo.
Yeah, that's crisp.
Way crisp.
Yeah.
But now I feel like it's like not.
Something like that's fine.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing like too crazy, but
I've been trying to chill, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like that's what my point is. And you notice I move around a lot. That's another part.
I do too. People commented on that, like that I swivel too much.
I
I'm like,
move around way too
I'm
much.
gonna be swiveling, man.
Yeah.
Don't watch it then.
And I also
Turn
always
your
have
screen off.
I always have gum in my mouth
Yeah.
too.
I only heard it
Nervous
one
habit.
time, so you're good.
Nervous habit.
Okay. So this concept, I'm never gonna tell somebody how to be an artist.
Go ahead.
I'm never going to. But I want to know what you think about this concept.
Yeah.
Would you ever be willing? And this could be the birth of an idea, or this could be like no, and then I'm
Me
like
laughing at
and
you?
then and then I'm like word makes sense, but at least articulate why. So you want to do a video, and in your video, in your vision, there's a sewing table. Wherein, at least the way that I put it in my vision from your words,
Yeah.
we're sort of like in some sort of a field or something, like an industrial area, an open area.
tracks,
There's
or
train tracks, and in the back of the shot, there's a big graffitied wall, or maybe a train that's parked that's all tagged up or whatever. So we have a similar vision there. I'm seeing it as like a bright day, like it's a bright day outside. No, gloomy, dark.
Dark.
Okay. This is kind of
Why
good.
did I wake up today? Kind of.
This is kind of good. Okay, so, and then are you thinking, you start sewing and you sew faster and faster and faster and the motherfucker catches on fire? Or are you thinking at the end the motherfucker catches on fire?
I
and it's
didn't
like-
think of that
it's like thin.
at all.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually
Didn't we talk about fire? or
Yeah,
did-
we definitely
Oh,
talked
okay,
about
okay,
fire.
okay.
But I didn't think of it me doing something and it catches on
Well,
fire.
that's what I'm saying is we've got to narrow this down. But so hear me out. I think we do this, and let me know what you
Go
think.
ahead.
I think that we take an idea. Maybe it's a jersey. Maybe it's a battle jacket. I don't know. But it's two separate things, completely separate. Okay? Think about what sewing is as a concept.
Yeah.
It's taking something and adhering it to something else.
Adding it to something.
Right.
Yeah.
Putting two things together.
Yes.
Okay. What if one half of this is good and one half of this is evil? And I hear you. Just hang on.
Go ahead.
Let's say that in this video is switchbacks of good and evil, and a piece of each battle jacket is discovered in this video. I mean, it's got to be pretty quick. It'll be like 2 minutes, but you're piecing together on these shots are light. It's sunny. The grass is green. There's this nice thing, like I went to my barber. He had this cool patch. Hell yeah, I'm feeling good. The other side is I'm feeling down. I'm walking in the puddle as I'm walking home. I step and there's this patch that's all fucking tattered and nasty and muddy, whatever, right? And then it switches back and it's daylight. Maybe it's two different people, and they
like you think that like Cal Raleigh hitting that home run to send us to the playoffs would be a very happy moment.
It's like a kid and his dad, and they're like, yeah, and they have this thing,
they have a 2 in their hands.
but it all comes together on
Oh,
that happy
man.
side. But on this bleak side.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is the video ends, and we've got a lot of work to do to think about this. But
Yeah.
but this is a conceptualized
Yeah.
piece that you could use that as ad space on
Yeah.
Instagram, and like go ahead and put in bids if you guys want this piece of artwork
Yeah.
with a story that you can watch and show everyone. This is a jacket you can spend a year making
on it,
this,
yeah.
and we can make a sick video.
That
and
actually
it's like
sounds very fire. The
and
idea.
it's like half of the jacket literally is like black denim.
Yeah.
The other half is like jean jacket.
Yeah.
Like 80s vibe, like happy, good, colorful, whatever. The other side, blacks, reds, twisted barbed wire.
Yeah.
Mud, blood, guts, whatever. So the video ends with like this sewing machine. It's like almost a hospital type setting. Like it's like clean, pristine. You're being like really detailed and oriented. Then it cuts, right? And you got red devil eyes. You're fucking sewing so fast. It's like not perfect.
Yeah.
You're just fucking putting it on there because you need to.
Have to.
And this motherfucker, you get up, you push your chair in, you fucking walk, and the motherfucker just catches on fire.
That actually sounds really fucking dope.
And maybe your jacket has like burns on it.
I've thought about
right?
burning them. That's funny that you say that.
So it's like this is just my artistic quality coming to mesh with yours.
Love that.
And I think it's like a collaborative piece that could be cool.
I love everything about that because that's not what I was envisioning at all.
Yeah.
I was more thinking, so when I was telling you about it, I was more thinking that because again, very inspired by music and images from like bands that I've watched my whole life. I was thinking like, it's just on fire with me like behind
Like just because it's cool as fuck.
just because it looks cool as fuck. Yeah.
100%.
So like the photo shoot that I was talking about,
Photos
outside
100%.
of that. Yeah.
Like we could do that photo. I'm thinking this is a separate thing.
Yeah.
It's like just a really cool
I love that.
conceptualized piece.
I love that.
And like you're the one doing the art.
And it could be different parts where it is like released at different times where it's like a story.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
like a 3-part series or something.
So here's what I'm going to say though.
Yeah.
This is your idea.
Yeah.
So you tell me what I need to do then.
But that's where I'm like,
No.
But we work together.
Of course.
It's a collaborative effort.
But this would be a kind of thing where I would
and y'all heard it here first.
No, for sure. I would take a step back and be like, okay, you tell me the direction that you're trying to go and help me show me how I can help this idea you have come to life. Because that's not what I was thinking.
I think it'd be sick, man.
I know it'll be
I think it'd be sick.
It sounds fire completely.
Yeah.
I like the idea. Of and this is something in the tattoo world. That's something we didn't talk about either.
Yeah, I mean we could be here 7 hours.
We could.
Or 12.
Or 15. Yeah.
Or we could do 4 episodes, which
yeah.
I'm looking more forward to.
I've always looked forward to tattoos.
Yeah.
Being a representation, and that's a huge thing for me. Is that every single one of my tattoos has a story to it. I have started twice a book about my tattoos and how they landed in certain points in my life, and why they have.
Same thing with mine.
100%. So the good and bad thing has not always been something I thought was cool.
Yeah.
But
it's a little bit cliche, but it's like.
But the way you just described it, the way that you said it, where it's like, because there is, bro. Even on my jackets now, like. This would be an exclusive. I'm about to do a Dominic Hasek jersey, which is a Sabre legend.
Okay.
And it's going to be the Stanley Cup that was taken from us in 1999 from a call that should not have been called the way it was.
Uh-oh.
The Stanley Cup patch will be upside down on that one.
Controversy.
Oh, it's not controversy
Yeah.
at all. We got fucked. The patch will be upside down on that one specifically in protest.
Word. Okay.
So
that makes sense. I guess the point I was making is I don't know why it looked backwards to me or something, but the point I'm making though is that's like a wholesome thing.
Yeah.
That's like this young man did make a lot of. Is it all wholesome? Or
No.
what? Right.
No.
So the stuff on the
Yeah.
back is Cannibal Corpse is like
There's a church
there's
burning
a
right
Slayer.
here.
Right. And so that's ooh, baby. That's kind of the point I'm making is like there's a side for wholesome and there's a side for fuck 'em.
But yeah, exactly. But that also goes into the idea of what the battle jacket idea, on my point of view, is where it's times in your life chronicled and celebrated and remembered. Like, bro, I'm looking at these battle jackets in the same way that I look at my tattoos, where this is here for a reason. This got put here then because of this.
Yep.
This is because I care about that. This is because I care about that. This is because I love this band, whatever.
Yep.
So it's literally will go to just like the good and bad side of someone's brain, really.
And I mean, we could even look that up, like left side, right side. I don't know which side. We could look that up, and like
my
that
bad
could
side
be the
is my right
corresponding.
side.
What I think would be cool is like the more connections, the better.
Yeah.
Like it's like you could talk about this fucking jacket for. There's a red button on this side.
Yeah.
Because of this, or there's, you know, the dark side is on the left because the left side of your brain has the most,
There's
right? It's like
bleach
shit
on
like
this
that.
side, yeah,
You just go on
sure.
and on
Yeah.
and on.
And that's the glory of this idea of Stitch God.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, dude.
Way more than just the surface level.
Bro, it's
Big ol'
endless.
iceberg.
It's endless,
It's like
bro.
that beard.
Yeah.
Just
Shit's mad long, bro.
yeah. All right, man. Well, shit. I don't necessarily want to wrap it up, but I don't. What did you get to all your? What do you got on your questions? Pull
Yeah,
those
let's
up.
do that.
That way we can kind of
Hopefully we could do it
hook
quick.
your people up.
Yeah. All right, so I have a question of my creative processes.
Yeah.
And I guess really the simple answer to what my creative process is, the more wrong it looks, the better.
Okay.
The more incorrect it looks. I've done things where it's spelled backwards. I've done things where the numbers are wrong. I've done things that are stained. The whole purpose of what Stitch God is becoming is, just like I told you that dude Jared told me, it was the idea of recycling something. Mm-hmm. Where a jersey that might have been thrown in the garbage by somebody else is now a wearable piece of art. Or this piece of material that was on the ground that's stained is now a piece of art. Because
cool to think, man. Like things happened in that jersey.
Yes.
Memories were made in that.
Thank you, bro.
You're right. Right.
And that's why I've been putting. That's why when the website is up and ready, whenever that happens, one of the options will be
you have a website guy.
Not yet.
I have a website guy.
I could use a website guy.
I got you.
The idea will be a send-in kind of thing where you say, I have this jacket that I wanted on. I have 5 T-shirts from when I was an emo kid. I have this one celebrating that Syracuse Orange won the national championship in whatever fucking year that was, 2003, 2002, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it's all these things that you want to keep but don't fit anymore, or you're going to throw them out, or you're going to donate them, or you're going to do whatever.
Right.
And the idea will be to take all of these things that would have been garbage and put it into one thing that you could wear for the rest of your life. So the creative process is really just how can I keep doing things that are like, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That's not how it's supposed to go.
So is it like, so how does an idea form for you? Is it mostly like anywhere, anytime? Or is it like before you go to bed?
I'm not going to lie to you, dude. For the most part, it's really just been like an excitement of like the Mariner uniform.
Okay.
Is what sparked it most of the time.
I don't know what that means though.
So like the Navy jersey's got a specific look, and it's like, whoa, it kind of looks cool with this number on and that number and this one and all these things.
So it's just something that you see in your head.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then your creative process is like, do you draw it? I saw you showed me you drew. Yeah, you drew one recently.
That's also a very recent thing that I've been drawing.
Right, so that's a newer thing. So you're trying to improve, right? Okay,
I'm trying to have a more visual idea, but
so your creative process is sort of changing still
every single time, and even
love that.
Even the ones that I've just recently drawn, I've already changed.
Wow.
Like as it was going on.
Yeah.
So to be honest,
that is the one kind of problem with like drawing shit down. Because it's like it locks you into something and shit's fluid, man.
And I always use a Sharpie too for the most part, so that makes it even.
I know you always have it in your hat. Where the fuck is it, bro?
So I know that's one of my. It's kind of funny.
Signature look, man.
It's funny how many people have noticed that's like a
first thing I notice about you.
Yeah, I always have. I'll always have a hat on.
Yeah.
I always have gum in my mouth, and
I thought this man had bad hair. He doesn't.
And you know what's so funny about that? Oh man. That's another hilarious story.
I always wear hats too, and I have great, like that's just part of it. I don't know.
It's funny because the way that me and my girl met is that we met between a mutual friend of ours, and she was in Buffalo and I was here, and we met. A crazy story, but to sum it up, funny about the hair thing. When she was first being shown what I looked like from across the country, the first question she asked was, "What's under that hat, though?"
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's such a common question.
It should be a common question. Yeah, and you want to know what's funny about it? And she doesn't like when I tell this story because she doesn't remember it the same way that I do. But I had longer hair at that time, more of a mohawk at that time, and I had just washed it that day. So the girl that was here that was friends with both of us is like middling this thing.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, she wants to know what's underneath the hat."
Yeah.
And I was like, because I never heard of hat fished at that time. It's not something that anyone ever said to me. They call it hat fished. Yeah, when the dude wears a hat, he doesn't have any hair. Yeah. And it's funny.
Imagine having bad hair, bro.
Damn. You want to know what's... Hold on. Before I get off of my subject
keep going.
if I ever do have bad hair, I rocked bald forever.
Yeah.
So I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
At all. Will it suck when it starts involuntarily not being how you want it to be? Yeah, it probably would be.
Yeah.
So she says, well, what's under that hat though? And I go, and I will never forget it. And me just being slick how I am, and knowing that I'm spitting game to a girl on the other side of the country.
Yeah, literally,
like as far away from me as I can be. And this isn't a thing where like we might meet tomorrow. I might never hear from this girl ever again. But I shot my shot, and I go, it's kind of wet still. And I like showed how long it was, and I go, that's not the only thing that's gonna be wet.
Oh boy, oh god.
Just trying to be funny.
Just hit her with the heat.
And I hit her with it right away, though, because that's how I was feeling. I was just, like, that confident and, like, oh, you don't think I got hair under here? Well, fuck. I have really nice, long, blonde hair underneath here. And I always wear a hat because that's just always been my thing.
Damn.
I was a hat guy before I was a jersey guy, which is hilarious. I got the New Era logo tattooed on my head.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's just in case there's ever a time where I can't wear my hat.
Yeah.
I got the New Era logo on my head. But anyway, I say all that to say this.
Yeah.
The creative process that I have is changing every second. Mm-hmm. Only because I don't have it nailed down exactly what it is I'm trying to do. That's why when you asked me earlier what my goal is, I don't really know.
Yeah. Same with me.
But even when I think, not to completely take away from what your goal is, because yours is probably going to change 1 billion times once you start doing this.
For sure.
At the end of the day, what I'd like my goal to truly be with this, not with my life, but with this specifically, is something I did on the field. Something I thought of on the field.
Yeah. That'd be sick. That's a great goal.
Somehow, some way, whether it,
like the 2 X's or something, maybe.
Bro, like just something like that. Like even that is something that came to me wildly, where it was just like, I got all this material, and everybody always asks me, well, where did all this shit come from in the first place, bro? I could tell you, I didn't keep receipts for nothing because I was just keeping shit, but I was practicing taking jerseys apart because that was something that I wanted to be good at for an in-game situation that I could quickly take something off, remove it, clean it, whatever, and then make it look nice again, right?
Yeah.
So for years, Robinson Cano is gone, Nelson Cruz is gone, Gene Segura, all since I've been here, all those jerseys would go on sale. Mm-hmm. And again, the regular person, I don't want a Robinson Cano jersey, bye. But me going, fuck. That's a C-A-N-O accent, two.
Yeah.
I didn't know why I was keeping it, but I just started keeping it. I would take it off. I would order a jersey on eBay, and I would want it to say, who was the last one I did? I did a Donnie Walton, and before it was one thing, and then it was another thing. So all of a sudden, all those letters, I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this.
Yeah.
But I started putting it all into a shoebox.
Yeah.
I would take the 2s off, and I had all these 2s. And then when I had that like moment where I was like, whoa, the uniform, all of them together.
Yeah.
I had all this just sitting there.
Literally just chilling.
All these letters and numbers, and I started thinking like, well, what?
So you were prepared. You prepared yourself.
Accidentally, though, because I didn't know why I was keeping it.
Maybe accidentally, maybe subconsciously you knew.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And that's even with the X's, bro. It's just material from like pulling shit apart. And it's all of a sudden, it was like, well, how can I fill this space?
Yep.
Oh, and they're all hand cut, too. And that's the other thing that's like important about this. Is there's easier ways to do things than I'm doing, but I'm ruggedly cutting things on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm
because it adds another layer.
It adds another layer.
Somebody touched this.
Somebody is doing this on their own, and if my hand's shaking that day because of whatever reason, it's going to be a little bit less perfect than it was before. But it all goes back to one of one, where it's all the way down to the way that it's cut. Because, bro, you could cut shit with lasers.
Yeah.
You could cut numbers with anything, bro.
100%.
You could have rulers. You can. There's a way around all of that.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it by hand specifically.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to make it still seem like this is really rugged as fuck for a reason.
Right.
And this dude asked what inspired me to create to improve my craft, and I answered that earlier by saying just the burning desire to not go back to what my life was before makes me want to do more. So I keep doing more.
Yeah, 100%.
Not go backwards. And then the
keep
last
that
dude,
balloon full, baby.
No, for sure. And the last dude asked me how and what got me into music.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge one.
I mean, I could sit here.
Yeah.
I could give you a very simple answer. I failed 6th grade. And that was like the first time. How old were you in your first and sixth grade? Like 9 or I was like 9 or 10 because I started.
Sixth grade's like 11 or 12.
I started early, so I was
Yeah.
probably like 10.
Okay.
And I just got introduced to Korn by my neighbor across the street.
Little Coming Undone, little Twisted Transistor.
No,
Little, what are we talking?
not talking that. That's
No?
the only Korn album I never bought.
Really? The most mainstream one?
Disgusting. to
Okay.
me as a Korn fan.
What's older?
The first song that I remember feeling in my heart was a song called Faggot by Korn.
I think I've heard this one.
And it's one of the deepest songs that has ever been written because it was written by somebody who was just fucking hurt, bro.
Yeah.
And I did not know at 10 years old what hurt was. I knew I had this aggressive, uncomfortable feeling within my body that everybody kept telling me as a kid. It was ADHD, ADHD, ADHD.
Yeah.
You need Ritalin, Ritalin, Ritalin.
Right.
When it's not what I needed at all.
No.
So what inspired me to get into music and care about it was not knowing what I was feeling and something loud making me feel something.
Yep.
It's a really simple answer. And it was Korn. First one for me, dude, when I was a little ass kid. When I met Jonathan Davis, it was like a thing where like
Never gotten to work Korn, unfortunately.
fuck, dude. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully they could.
Yeah.
They'll have to do smaller venues at some point. I'm
Definitely.
sure.
Well, Disturbed came through our smaller venue.
Yeah, really?
Imagine
Wait.
Disturbed. The first show that second show.
What year
First
was
show
that?
at 2016.
What?
Yeah, October. Like roughly. Yeah.
The smaller
pro-
one that I'm thinking
Yeah.
of? No.
Yeah.
See, that was a big band at one point. I loved them too. Their
Big
first few
band,
albums.
bro.
Yeah, they were huge.
Like 500,000 people at a time.
Yeah,
huge.
they were
like
were
touring the world.
But I was at a festival and I there was like a situation where Jonathan Davis was like signing stuff, whatever. They do that sometimes, like Monster Energy drink will sponsor.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were like jokingly going that direction to see Danzig, who's the worst live band that I've ever
Mother.
seen. The worst live band I've ever. That's the only one you need to know. They're
Yeah.
awful, terrible.
That song rips though. I like it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
once you see it live.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were jokingly like over there. I look over. And there's a line developing near us, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Some dude goes, oh, Jonathan Davis is signing right there. I go, what? Jonathan Davis is the lead singer of Korn.
Yeah. I know that one.
And I was like, bro, and this is probably when I'm like 23, 24 years old, but the 10-year-old in me that like had the posters on the wall, I was like, bro, I got to just slide in this line if for nothing else.
Yeah. For real. Just to say thanks.
So I walked up to him, I
Yeah.
shook his hand, and I said, thank you. That's all I did.
Yep.
It's all you can do.
I think the exact same way. Like so many people think, like photo, autograph. I've met my absolute musical heroes multiple times, like
Yeah.
several different ones. No pictures necessary
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Period. And guess what? Maybe half of them have specifically gone out of their way to say, "You don't need a picture." I'm like, "No need, man." And they're like, "I appreciate that
Yeah.
a lot. Like that means a lot."
Because at the end of the day, like somebody that really
real
cares,
fan, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And just to, and of course he's probably heard that a million times in his life.
Yeah, but it's like they're
But
humans, and like
I only got to say it once.
Yeah.
So that means everything to
Yeah.
me that I was able to do that. And it's, bro, there's been so many things like that. Like, dude, again, we could sit here for hours.
Yeah.
But the day I got on with Howard Stern,
You got on with Howard Stern?
I got on with Howard
What's
Stern.
that mean?
Means that you call into his show that millions of
Oh,
people
maybe
pay
you
money
did
to
tell-
listen to.
Yeah. Okay.
And the fact that you can get through to him
Yeah.
is fucking crazy in itself. And I sat on hold for like 2 hours at the darkest point of my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a huge advocate for therapy.
Yeah.
Huge. And this is before I got into it. And I'm only telling you this story because it was one of those moments where I was able to like another like how this could never happen again kind of situation. Like,
And it's happened to you a bunch of times.
and it's happened to me several
still got a
times
ton of shit
where it's
left, too.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I get on bro, I've been a suicidal guy my whole life. I have been. And when they tell you like on commercials and stuff for pills, it's suicidal thoughts. I've had that since as long as I can remember. And Howard is one of these kind of people that I would listen to, and it was a really fucked up time. It was after I moved out here, and I remember at that time I was drinking like a lot, and it was not for the same reason I was drinking a lot in Buffalo, which is just because there's nothing else to do. I was out here drinking because I literally just had to feel numb to how terrible of a feelings I was having, but also trying to distract myself from those terrible feelings to accomplish something to get me away from that. It was like this crazy, like, being pulled 2 different ways at the same time and trying to focus.
Yeah.
And I didn't have health insurance.
Ah.
And I couldn't figure out a way to, like, fix it without drinking myself to sleep every night. So I'm on hold for 2 hours. And I basically was just like, because they screen your call. And I was like, yo, I'm having a hard time, man. I don't know what the fuck to do. I just want to talk to Howard and ask him what he would do in my situation.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I hadn't fallen asleep yet. It's probably like, because they go on the air at 7 a.m. on the East Coast. So the show starts.
Like 4 a.m.?
Starts at 4 a.m.
My dad lives in New Jersey. He's 3 hours ahead.
Yeah, so it's like by the time I got on, it was like 7 a.m. here. Or like 9 a.m. here. Who knows?
Yeah.
And I'll never forget him going, this guy on the phone says he's depressed. He goes, why is he calling me if he's depressed?
Yeah.
And then he goes, Paul? And I didn't answer right away because I was like half asleep because I'd been waiting for so long.
Yeah.
And he goes, Paul? And I'll never forget the moment where I like realized he was actually talking to me. And I was like, holy fuck, dude. I was like, this is one of my heroes. Like, this is somebody that I really look up to. And like, and it's still on replay a lot on their, because they have an app. The Sirius XM has an app, and it's still on a lot because what we talked about is I'm somebody trying not to give in to killing myself, and I have doctors, and I have insurance companies, and I have copay this, copay that, this, that, when I just need somebody to help me not feel like this.
Yeah.
And I got on the phone with him, and I was just like, dude, what do I do? And it turned into like an educated conversation about the healthcare system in America is fucked up.
Yeah.
So then that guy called in, and he suggested going to AA meetings where it's just an open forum where you can speak.
Yeah.
And they looked up a thing that is now really popular because of coronavirus and all that shit called NAMI, National Alliance of Mental something. They looked it up while I was on the phone with them, though, and they actually gave me real life
advice
stuff
that actually
situations.
helps. Yeah.
And I'll never forget it, bro, because that was like one of those kind of moments where I just needed something to push me along a little bit. And that was in August, and I ended up getting health insurance, looking into it seriously that December.
Yeah.
And I was in with a therapist by January of that year.
Hell
So it was a couple months into it, but just to be able to talk to somebody and say to them, like, bro, like, you mean something to me. Because there are people that feel like, I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you just need to be reminded that you matter, you know?
Artists talk about it a lot, man. Like, I think artists, and that's the other thing is like, I mean, having any type of outlet artistically, you never know who that could help. You know what I mean?
I've had people, bro, on my little ass scale.
Yeah.
I've had people hit me up like, yo, you kind of just inspired me to go get a sewing machine.
Dope.
Which is like the coolest fucking thing.
I mean, that's like kind of my goal for this. It'd be super cool that, you know, in a year or something, some random person's like, oh, I do cars and I want to do a podcast about cars. I was talking to Connor Weddington, the Seahawk dude. Yeah. And he was all about, you know, and we'll have to see if this happens or not, but he was all about, like, I'll be on the podcast 100%. Yeah. And he was like, to be honest, I want to be on it because I want to start one and I want to see how it goes. So it's like, just the thought of, like, somebody that's in the NFL that's put in that kind of, that was always my dream as a kid. Yeah. So it's like to be able to talk to him about that. And for him, just the opportunity that he may say, this is sick. I kind of want to do this exact thing, right? It's like, that would be so cool. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens. I think
that would be really fire.
Yeah.
And just the other day, I was doing the cracking game, and I had a dude come up to me. And I don't remember his name. I think it was Derek. You could edit that part out.
Oh, yeah, Jeter. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hold on. I got Jillian texting me.
Oh, yeah. The boss.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely the boss. But no, a guy came up to me, and I don't know if you noticed I hide my face.
Yeah. It's the...
Yeah.
We're gonna take a photo like after this to put on my story or whatever, and...
We got to do this thing. Yeah. But that came from, like, kind of just trying to hide, like, not hide, but, like, it was more of just, like, it's not about me, dude. It's about what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So, but it evolved into, like, a mystery kind of thing, or, like, a...
Yeah, like a persona.
Yeah. So I had a guy come up to me at the Kraken game the other day. And he kind of turned around, and I turned around, and he was like standing there, and he goes, "Has anyone ever told you that you look like Stitch God?" And I was like, here's me thinking, bro, there's so many people, and you could probably understand
That's
this.
fire.
How many people do you think you interact with in like a weekly basis when it's most busy for you? Thousands?
14,000.
Thousands of people.
Yeah, 2,000 a night, 7 nights a week, basically.
So I run into a lot of people, a lot of names, a lot of situations. I'm looking at names all day long, every day.
Yeah.
So for a guy to come up to me and go, "Does anyone ever told you look like Stitch God?" I could have talked to this guy 30 times before and just not really remember talking to him.
Right.
So I thought he was busting my balls at first. And I like laughed and I was like, yeah, dude, like, he kind of looked at me kind of like, no, like, what? You kind of, and I go, well, that is me. He goes, no way. And I go, yeah. I was like, that's me, bro. He goes, dude, I've been following you for a minute. All the shit you do is super cool, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bro, you have no idea how you just made my fucking whole week, bro. Yeah, of course. Like, that is so fucking cool. Because, like, the idea of the mystery behind it, it's like, that part of it's working. Where I've had several people that are like, are you? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I am.
That's happened to me. It's weird. Like, on a much smaller scale. I'm in a market, though. Like, I came up in a market, and I'm going to, like, stay loyal to that market forever because it was the drift scene. Mm-hmm. Like, the drifters around here are, like, some of the coolest people I've ever met. Just said that right in the middle of a burp, too, which is fire.
Another Howard Stern move to burp.
Yeah.
You should listen to him, bro.
Yeah. I remember, like, seeing clips back in the day, and I just remember for some reason they had, like, porn stars on.
He's a god, bro.
It's just crazy shit.
Changed
and I'm
everything.
like, what the fuck is going on?
He made it okay to talk about things that people talk about.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and, like, you feel how you feel about Joe Rogan, so it's like, I love Joe Rogan. Same deal, right? So
I already told you, though. Who's Joe Rogan say he learned everything he knows?
Howard Stern.
There you go.
Yeah.
We have reality TV because of him. We have... you could say shit on TV now. I feel like he's fully responsible for that. People are not afraid to talk about sex, which is something that people never, ever should have been afraid to talk about. And that's the ultimate repression that I feel like people always have had in the history of mankind.
It's definitely getting better now.
Well, here it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, true.
Sleeping around here, but here's the problem. There's a stigma to it just because even the way that I just said that.
Yeah.
People sleeping around, but at the same time, why the fuck not? You know what I mean? People should be comfortable being able to do something like that. And that's what I believe Howard Stern kicked down the fucking door of. Like, dude, just be.
He was definitely a trendsetter, like a
for sure.
Trailblazer.
For sure.
I was saying.
It's going to happen every time.
Yeah, I was saying something.
Me too. I don't even remember.
Oh, the drift community.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm doing pretty good today. For being super hungover, I'm doing pretty good about
you don't
staying
seem
on track.
hungover.
Dude, I am.
Good for you.
Yeah, holding it together. So, what I was going to say, though, is that community has been really, really cool. And they're, like, really open to having media people out there.
Yeah.
I will say, like, for the amount of hours that the media stands in the sun, in no shade, like, directly in the beating sun, because it's a racetrack. There's no trees around. I mean, there was one track that had trees, but, like, it's sunny, it's hot, it's 102 degrees. You've got 2 cameras, a case, a drone, whatever. You're carrying all this shit around. And, like, you had to buy all this equipment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They don't really pay media, like, at all, pretty much ever.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because it's like, it is. I just have to say something about that because it's like, it's an art form that people take a lot of time trying to. I'm not saying I'm good at it and I deserve a bunch of money. There's people out there that are fucking world-class photographers that are giving people photos for free, basically. And it's like, that's got to stop eventually. But anyway, the point I guess I'm making is there's been a couple times where BIGnKRAZY actually comes from my gamer tag that I made when I was 13 years old.
I thought it's because you're big and crazy.
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
So I actually looked up the same thing as like the Post Malone. Like, how'd you get your name, Post Malone? He's like, I put it in a name generator. I'm like,
that's a really dope
way. Yeah. Right. So I looked up like, how do you make a Xbox username? And they were like, 2 describing factors, a verb, and this, and what? And I'm like,
it's kind of crazy that you looked that up.
Crazy. Yeah, I was 13, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
right.
What do you want me to be like? Anyway.
Stitch God came from making fun of Drake calling himself Six God. That's what
really? I don't know if many people know that about you, so that's cool. That's what this stuff's for.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so there were a couple times at the track, like maybe 2 months after making the Instagram and like posting a couple drift photos.
Yeah.
Like I gained 180 followers, I think, in like a day or 2 days, which is cool. But then it kind of stopped. And I was like, oh, I've really had to grind for more.
Yeah.
But there's been people at the track that, you know, I'm like, yo, what up? And they're like, I've never seen you on the media list before. Like, what's up? And I was like, oh, I'm Big and Crazy. And they're like, oh, bro, yeah, like we've been seeing stuff from you and whatever. And then there's been people that come up and they're like, they'll see me. My like signature thing was like the mullet and the like. I used to have Pit Vipers. Now I have Heat Wave. Shout out Heat Wave, best company fucking ever. Sunglass company. Anyway, great company.
Yeah.
You'll learn about them.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to see these things. They're fucking
Glasses
sick.
guy?
Yeah, sick. Oh, I got a couple. I've got 2 pairs.
Sunglasses
from
don't
them.
work for me because of the.
I got contacts. I had to do it, and it's been fucking killer. It's been so
Really?
nice. Yes, dude. It's such a pain in the ass to get over the like shoving something in your eye, but it's really not bad once you do it.
That's the biggest turn
and
off
it's
of it to me.
so nice to be able to have like sunglasses and shit. It's worth it.
I always
Believe
got a hat
me.
on though.
Yeah,
Pretty blocked from the sun.
but like sunglasses are sick. It's like they're cool ass fashion accessories. Anyway, well, so the point I'm making is like I always wore, you know, I always had the mullet, I always had the Pit Vipers, whatever. People would see me at the track and like I'm 6'5", like I'm 290 pounds. They'd be like, "Well, that's you.
That's
you're
that
the
one guy."
fucking guy.
Yeah,
That's
clearly.
Big and Crazy."
That's funny.
So yeah, I mean that's been cool. It's not quite on the scale of like 1 in 20,000 people is like, oh hey, like that'll be cool when that happens. But
yeah. Every time that it's happened to me, it's been like the coolest thing ever, dude. Because like I said, the way my story has happened,
you didn't really have like any roots here or anything. Like this is all from like your
all
hard
fresh.
work. Yeah.
All fresh, but also somebody who has kind of lived that life of like not really having like a purpose of feeling like, and then for somebody to come out of their way and be like, hey dude, can I take a picture with you, is like,
you bet your ass you can.
it's the coolest thing to me, bro. And I hope it never, even if Stitch God never becomes anything more than it is right now, I hope it never stops, or at least somebody is like, dude, that was kind of cool when you did that.
Yeah, hell
That was cool. That's all I want it to be, is just do cool shit. That's really it.
That should be the mission statement. Do cool shit.
I've said it.
Comma. Always.
Yeah.
Period.
For real. For real.
Bro, that should be my mission statement.
That
Okay,
is.
I adopted it.
You can
do
have
cool shit always.
Period.
Period.
But don't say period because people ruined that.
Period.
On period, dude. I hate how people talk now. It's the worst.
Fucking shit's bussin'.
That's
Bussin' for real.
God damn it.
No cap.
It's fucked up, too.
All right, man. It's been 3 hours.
It's been.
Let's call it.
It's good
All right,
times.
dude. All right, StitchGod716
That's right.
Instagram.
Yes, sir.
What else you doing? Like anything you doing like Twitter? You want
Nah.
anybody to follow you anywhere else?
I'm not a Twitter guy.
Big Insta guy.
I'm just an Instagram guy from
Cool.
now. Everybody keeps telling me I do a TikTok, but I don't feel like
Yeah.
trying to figure that out.
It's not crazy hard. Instagram Reels though. Start that up.
Yeah, I've been trying to.
I did like 4 of them back to back to back. 3,000 views each. Like,
I
all of
get
them. I'm
mad.
Like,
I got mad respect for people that do that a lot now. After trying to do the like,
It's
let me
hard.
stop here
Yeah.
and then we move it here. Like, it's
well, you need a
really-
videographer. Like
When I do when I'm doing the most of the stuff that I do though.
when we do this collab project, I'm gonna be there with that fucking camera.
You should.
On a gimbal.
But
and
here's
we're gonna be like shooting shit.
But here's the problem. Just like I was texting you the other night, like,
Yeah.
oh shit, it would have been funny to do B-roll. I didn't
I'll
think
do it at 2 o'clock. I don't
But
give
it's
a
like
fuck.
3 in the morning when I'm doing the
I don't give a
most shit that
I'm
I do.
awake. I'm awake, bro. There's no traffic.
Bro, it's crazy. All right, then that's what we'll have to do.
Say that. Just make sure it's like a plan. Like be like, yo, on Tuesday I'm gonna be working.
man.
Because if you're like, it's 1 a.m. and you're like, yo, come over. I'm like,
Do you see though already just some of the light times that we eat?
yeah.
I'm glad you've already noticed what my priority is though, because like I have one priority, and that's STT sports lettering.
Yeah.
That's my number one priority. That's the only person that I'll stop on a dime for to go do whatever they need me to do. And that's
So we're gonna shout out STT sports
absolutely.
lettering.
Oh, for sure.
We're gonna shout out Jerry.
Jerry, yeah.
We're gonna shout out
Cyphers,
Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York.
I'm gonna make lots of hashtags. We're gonna just
I hope so. I hope
hashtag
so.
Batman, baby.
It's
Hashtag Bruce Wayne vibes.
nah, for real. It's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Change if you can is the message.
All right, man. All right, audience. It's been real. Give him a nice little wave. All right.
Peace out.
Yeah, peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out. All right, dude. Let's hit fucking.
Somebody's having fun over there. So we're gonna let it play out once so everybody can hear it. I want everybody vibing right now too. We got too many cameras going for people to be sitting around. And my man feels it over there.